I'm going to tab over to this screen, and it's going to take me just a second to set the stage for you guys. Welcome to Tomb of Annihilations. So, this story takes place in the far-off continent of Cholt. It is an island, a large island, separated from the Sword Coast, where most of D&D 5th edition modules have taken place so far. It's kind of a mix between Jurassic Park, Heart of Darkness, and Tarzan. There's a lot of Southeast Asian influences, there's a lot of Central African influences, there's a few South American influences besides. There's a lot of jungle and a whole lot to explore, but we're not starting in Cholt. We'll be going to Port Nyanzaru in just a few minutes. In the meantime, we will be going to the city of Baldur's Gate in the north of the Sword Coast. That is a name that many of you, especially our older members of the audience, might be aware of. Baldur's Gate is a very famous locale in Dungeons & Dragons canon. There have been many things that take place in Baldur's Gate, but what you need to know right now is that Baldur's Gate is a tiered fortress city sat on windswept plains relatively far north in the Sword Coast. It is a place of gray stone and high walls, and the policeman of the city has defaulted to the mercenary company known as the Flaming Fist. The Flaming Fist is a lawful good military organization that follows Helm, Torm, and Tyr, respectively. They are, on paper, looking out for the people who cannot look out for themselves. However, in practice, they are a mercenary company, and a humanocentric mercenary company besides, and that will shape the interactions that we see throughout the game, especially with Sergeant Holderheck. Now, that being said, they do generally put the good of Baldur's Gate first, well, second, after their purse strings. So, with that in mind, you kind of have a picture of what daily life is like for the citizens of Baldur's Gate. You need passes to move between the walls of the city, or to leave the city or enter, and there is a small chance that you will be shaken down by the Flaming Fist, especially if you are a non-human. Now, in addition to this, something strange has been happening. It's not made the papers yet, and it's certainly not widespread, but people are taking ill, suddenly and virulently. And people are dying. Or not. It's a little bit unclear, but there is definitely the stirrings of a plague happening in Baldur's Gate, and it is in this rather dreary mindset that we venture into the city for the first time. Baldur's Gate, about 10, 11 a.m. It's a city like what you would expect. Featureless gray stones, tattered banners along the fortress walls, but home for a lot of people. And we fade in on the fortress at the top of Baldur's Gate as the gates open and the... Is my music not playing? Why is my music not playing? My music is not playing. Why aren't you playing? I guess you need to load. That's fine. You do a load. As the cry goes out from beyond the wall, "One exit!" and Sergeant Holder descends from the fortress down into the city proper. You have your orders, Sergeant, to make for the House of Centra Sylvain. Now, your drinking buddy, Sparky, his house is on the way, and he said that he needed to talk to you about a letter that he received. What would you like to do? The city is before you, but you are dressed for travel.
Well, in that case, Brick would make his way towards Sparky's place.
Okay. Many individuals, as you pass along the streets, the somewhat empty streets. Baldur's Gate has always had a bit of a population problem. nod or salute you. You are, as they say, one of the good ones. Several of the lower-ranking members of the Flaming Fist will salute you. Sergeant! As you walk by, but you're relatively unaccosted as you venture to Sparky's abode. This is not the song that I wanted to play. Oh well, it's fine. So you head down to Sparky's place and knock on the door. Do you shout for Sparky, or do you just let a knock do it?
He would just knock.
Okay. So, Sparky, it's about 11 a.m. You've just had your tea. There's a knock at the door.
I go to look through the porthole to see who it is.
You see a yellow eye and a bushy blue eyebrow appear in the peephole, Brick.
Alright, as soon as I see that, I know it's my drinking buddy, so I open up the door a bit to see what he wants.
Okay.
It's way too early to hit the bars at this point.
Yeah, right. Brick is dressed for travel. Why don't you describe a little bit about what Sparky looks like? And Brick, I'll let you describe yourself in just a second. When you open the door, what is Brick greeted with?
Brick is greeting a disheveled gnome. Everything is functional, but beyond that, appearance does not matter. So hair is out of the way of the eyes. It's generally in the same direction, but it doesn't really look nice at all. The beard is clearly just only kept maintained just enough to stay out of the way. Clothing is patchworked. Good patchwork, but colors do not match at all. Materials clearly only picked for at the time. But overall, functional, but clearly not caring.
Okay. For anybody wondering, this is Sparky here, the blue-haired gnome. And what does Sparky see when he opens the door, Brick?
Sparky sees a dwarf with words.
It's all right.
He sees a dwarf, well kept and ready for travel. He's wearing his chainmail, and he's got a lot of belongings packed in a knapsack over his shoulder, or in a bag.
Right.
He's not dressed for duty, but he is very clearly ready to travel, and
showing your insignia.
Yeah.
So, Ren, does the thought cross your head briefly, oh fuck, Brick's here to arrest me?
Not really, because I would like to think Brick is a good enough drinking buddy that he'd at least give me 10 minutes warning first.
Fair enough. Now, you did call for Brick, not necessarily like show up at 11 a.m. on this day, but you were like, hey Brick, next time you get a chance I need to talk to you, I got a weird letter. The letter, of course, referring to the one from Senator Sylvain.
Yes, I'd like to try and go into any situation with some forethought, and I did not really know too well of Senator Sylvain personally, so right. I was not sure if they might have been someone I've accidentally slighted with one of my previous inventions.
So, what do you say to Brick? He's standing there waiting for you.
I first asked Brick if I forgot about another bar tab.
No, not this time, friend. I'm here about that letter you told me about.
Ah, yes, the letter. And then I moved to my desk and brushed off some papers before finding it halfway buried.
Now, Brick, you did not see the letter that was tendered to the Flaming Fist. It was delivered to your superiors, as mail from the nobility is wont to do. You received orders, so I cannot in good conscience say this letter is like the one that you received, as you received your orders from the brass. But it is in that the delicate hand of a servant. It is signed in a different hand that says Sandra Sylvain, a name that you recognize, and it bids one Master Plicknick to come to Sandra Sylvain's residence basically now.
How curious.
The timing does seem rather important, but then again, if it truly was, they'd be willing to wait for us if they needed us regardless.
Now, Brick, have you told Sparky that you will also be going to Cinder Sylvain's?
Not yet, no, as I didn't know he'd be going too.
So, do you try to
keep it under confidentiality?
Right. Do you try to mask any emotion on your face as you're reading this letter, or can Ren see recognition on your brow, so to speak?
Brick's always been the honest type.
Okay.
And, earnest, eager.
Ren, what is your insight bonus?
My insight bonus is +1.
Okay. So, this is a good time, since we have some new players with us and some new players in the audience, to talk about passives. You might have heard of passive perception, which is marked at the bottom of your skill list, but any skill can have a passive modifier, and it is simply your bonus plus 10. And the reason I didn't call for that is because you wouldn't have known what to look for. But in the future, if I say, hey Ren, what's your passive insight? Your answer would be 11.
Ah, alright.
Cool. So, with an 11, you don't need to roll. You can see plainly on Brick's face, he's not confused by this letter. In fact, he is familiar with this situation.
So, what does Sindra Sylvain want with the flaming fists as well as I? Is what I would ask Brick.
Mm-hmm.
Brick is almost startled, but then remembers just how well Sparky knows him. And chuckles a second. And then goes, well, it's probably best you come with me and find out.
Shall I bring my tools akin then?
I suggest you get ready for a long journey.
With that, Ren turns towards a corner in the room.
Yeah.
There lies a backpack, clearly not cast aside, but maintained well, with many items inside of it. Just goes to grab it, and then immediately walks out the door.
Cool. Brick, can you make a quick perception check for me, please? Just as Ren walks past you, you turn to reach for the door. You look around. There is something. A bottle of some sort of liquid on a Bunsen burner, bubbling and smoking.
Shouldn't you turn that off before leaving?
Ren turns around, looks confused for a second before seeing the smoking chemical.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, that. That probably could have caused an inconvenience for us later on. And with that, he goes to douse the flame.
Douse the flame. Let's see if you head out and close the door. Do you lock up, Ren, or do you just close the door?
Ren locks up in the process.
Pull out a key, lock the door to your apartment. The two of you head through the streets to Manor Sylvain. The camera pans up. to see the morning sun. It moves across the sky slightly to show that some time has passed, pan back down, and the two of you are walking up to a iron-fenced villa. There are no guards specifically outside, though, Brick, you are well familiar with this area. It is part of the Nobles' Quarter of Baldur's Gate. It is often patrolled by the Fist, and the gates are currently together, but they're not fully together. They are offset so that they're clearly not locked or closed or sealed. You just push on the gate to come in. Either they were waiting for you, or someone has just come in and has not closed the gate correctly. What would you two like to do? There's about 5 steps between the gate and the porch. There's a little, rock garden.
Seems rather odd for a noble not to secure their own gate. Or am I just missing something new, Brick?
It is odd. Even if we were expected, I would expect to be greeted at the gate. Brick takes a look around and calls out, "Hello? Is anyone here?"
There's the sound of an older gentleman who is surprised, the very upper crust intake of breath, and then the slightly annoyed squawk of a chicken from around the side of the house, and a voice calls, "A moment, please. Come here. I'm not going to..." And there's another squawk and a thud, and a brown chicken with a red comb comes running around the side of the house through the rock garden, pursued by a slightly older gentleman in a servant's suit.
Ren merely stares at the sight, not really befuddled, but more just taking in the
As
events.
far as you know, Vader, there is no chicken coop on this estate.
Can't say that's what I expected.
The chicken, runs across the gravel path that's, marked as the walkway between the gate and the porch, and the servant, gets there, freezes in a running pose, sees the two of you, straightens himself completely, takes out a handkerchief, dusts his gloves, puts the handkerchief away, dusts his coat, turns, ignores the chicken, and just strides over to the gate. "And a good afternoon to the two of you, masters."
Flicknick, although quite frankly I prefer Sparky.
Holder heck.
The servant, eyes you up and down for a second, Brick, and he says, "Sergeant, I believe."
Yes.
"Yes, the both of you are expected. I can show you to Mr. Sylvain's quarters forthwith, though," and you see the chicken, strutting back and forth along the rock garden, taunting the butler as he, looks back and gives it the evil eye. "There's a bit of an infestation at the moment."
Perchance, does this have to do anything with transmutation spells going awry?
"I certainly hope not. No, it arrived with our..." He sniffs. "Guest, along with several other pieces of livestock, most of which are well-behaved or currently residing in our larder, but this," he points accusingly at the chicken, "has given me no end of grief."
Ren just mutters to himself, "Well, it wasn't that commission I took 2 weeks ago, then."
Oh my god.
"Might I trouble you for your assistance, Sergeant? I'm not as spry as I used to be."
Ah, I suppose I can spare a moment to catch a chicken.
You have the eternal gratitude of all those who serve Mana Sylvain. No, he like steps aside and like grandly gestures you through the gate. So, Brick, what is your intention? Are you going to grab the chicken? Are you going to shoot the chicken? Are you going to throw a rock at the chicken? Are you going to throw Ren at the chicken? What is your objective?
Gnome throwing.
The objective for now is to try to catch the chicken.
You're gonna try to catch the chicken. Are you going to like describe for me what your intention is? Are you gonna like Steve Irwin up to this thing and try to grab it by the throat? Are you gonna try to wear it out by chasing it around to the Yakety Sax theme? Are you going to try to get it to come over to you? What's your objective?
Rick's just going to rush it and try to grab it.
You're gonna try to rush it. Okay. Hey Sibs, you wouldn't happen to have stats for Henrietta, would you?
No, I don't. I wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting this to be Henrietta's introduction.
Go ahead.
I'm loving it.
Go ahead and roll initiative for me, Brick. Just roll your initiative stat. I just want to see what you get, and I'll set a DC since I don't have stats for Henrietta. I was going to set a DC of 6. So you can go first. So you run in, you close the gap to the bird, you try to grab it.
I found chicken stats if that helps.
Yeah. What's its initiative bonus?
Doesn't look like it has
What's
one.
its dex modifier?
Dex modifier is a 0.
Okay. Cool. So easy roll. Let's see. Oh no, you tied. Okay, so this is just great. So what happens is, Brick, you're just like, fuck this, I can grab this chicken. You rush it, and immediately the chicken bolts in the other direction. So
Ultra instinct chicken.
So
it's just been hanging around the doctor for too long.
So Ren and the butler are standing at the gate watching. They both get an anime sweat drop as Brick starts chasing this chicken around the yard. The chicken is eluding you. You need a better plan.
These chicken stats are fucking art.
Oh, that's right. I have a theme song for Henrietta. I just remembered. What? Yeah, hang on. I need to turn this on. Where is this? Where is it?
Oh my god.
Where is it? Where is it?
My god.
Hang on. Where is it? Oh yeah, that's right. I have this.
I'm so sad I can't hear this.
It's not playing yet. Roll20's been buggy all day.
Oh my goodness.
I'm hearing it.
I love it.
Oh, you guys are hearing it? Great. Okay. So
Yes,
so Brick, you need a different tactic. The chicken is just gonna outrun you.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and try to find a rock off the ground and try to toss it in front of the chicken to try and stop it.
Okay. Make a ranged attack.
If you hurt this chicken,
you can use your gun. It's fine. Like, you're not literally using your gun, but the stats are the same, so you can roll with your gun.
Ren is just remembering why he hangs out
grab a rock
with
off the
Rick
ground,
because of all
hook it
the
in front of the
entertainment
chicken.
that comes from this.
Okay.
I like to manage like Ren is just laughing his ass off.
Oh, absolutely. So you go to throw it in front of the chicken, and so you can shoot. You can throw it in front of the chicken, or you can just beam the chicken in the head. It's not gonna kill it, but you can just beam the chicken in the head, and that will be enough for it to like freeze, and you can like grab it.
Or, I don't want to hurt the chicken.
It won't. It's a little pebble. It's just enough to startle it.
Yeah, just maybe not in the head, but just hit
Okay.
the chicken with it.
And you pop the chicken with it. It like jumps back, flaps its wings, feathers go everywhere. You grab it under the wings, and you gotta pick it up. And you have just a second of, haha, got you, until you are pummeled in the face with soft, flappy wings as this, like, 7-8 pound bird just starts, like, wrestling in your grip like crazy. Make a dexterity saving throw. Okay.
Yo, that's no joke. A chicken can beat your ass.
Ren,
I know,
what
chickens
are
are
you
assholes.
doing while all of this is happening?
Well, right now, I am laughing to myself pretty hard at this point, enjoying the sight, and
Cool.
just remembering why I chose to hang out with Brick all those years ago.
Cool. So, you hold on to the bird, but now you have an angry chicken trying its best to kick you. It's not doing a very good job. It's just kind of like flailing ineffectually in the air, vaguely in the direction of your chest. But it is, like, whapping you with its wings, like, constantly. You're, like, holding it out at arm's length, like, I'm assuming, like, looking away so it doesn't hit you in the eye. You look ridiculous, Brick. What do you want to do?
Brick's just gonna try to get it under its arm, pin its wings, so that he can calm it down.
Okay, so you pin its wings, make an animal handling check.
If you fuck this up, this chicken's going to go for your arms.
Okay, so eventually, after about 10 minutes, total, you manage to get the chicken calmed down. You, like, put it under your arm like a football, and just, like, hold it there, and chicken's just, like, chilling, balking quietly, and the butler, like, walks away from the gate, leading Ren forward, and he says, "Very good, sir. Right this way." He does not move to take the chicken from you.
Verk will just hold on to the chicken, I guess. This is not how I expected to start my morning.
Well, Sergeant, you certainly at least got your daily aerobics.
The like, Brick, you can't help but feel like the chicken is looking at you like it won somehow. Like, every time you look at the chicken is, like, looking up at you, and it's just... Chickens can't look smug. They do not have the ability to look smug. This chicken looks smug. Like, you feel like it's taunting you. Sibs is
Ren?
dying.
Henrietta's already awakened, and we haven't even done it yet.
One snide remark out of you and you're in the fryer.
So you say that, and it just kind of just, like, balks slowly, like, to itself. Not in response to you, just like... And then you realize that it's doing it in time with your steps. Every time you take a step, every time your foot touches down, the chicken just goes...
Bad vibes.
At this point, Ren managed to compose himself somewhat to notice what the chicken was doing.
So you get inside the villa, and it's one of those buildings. It's got a small entryway, a doorway immediately to your left, a small hallway that then opens up into a T shape, or sorry, a cross shape. My bad. Lowercase t. You come in from the bottom. There's a wing to your left and right, and then there's a staircase directly in front of you. It is up the staircase that the butler goes without breaking stride. You follow the butler upstairs to another series of hallways. It's not a huge manor, but it's big enough that you have to cross hallways a few times. And finally, he leads you to a simple-looking, like, wooden door. And he turns, and he says, "Thank you for your assistance, Sergeant Holderheck. I will, take the offending beast from you, and if you will give me a moment, I shall announce your arrival." He goes to reach for the chicken with 2 gloved hands, and the chicken proceeds to throw itself bodily against you, Brick, and like peck at the butler's hand. He jumps back really quick and holds his hands up. Says, I assure you, you will have a means to dispose of the creature momentarily. I shall. And he turns and he opens the door and pokes his head in, and you hear him say, Mr. Sylvain, the sergeant has arrived. And you don't hear a response, but he pokes his head back out and he throws the door open, and you see. Have you guys ever seen the movie Atlantis: The Lost Empire?
Yes, I have.
Like once, a very long time ago.
You know
The
the
one with Milo Thatcher?
Yeah, that's him. The you remember the rich guy's like library with the big fish tanks with the coelacanths in it?
Yes.
Not really, no.
Okay. The door opens to a dark library, full of old books. There's books and scrolls strewn out on several tables in here. It's a big library. There's big fish tanks set into the wall with like the Forgotten Realms equivalent of like coelacanths in it. And at the back of the room, sitting in an armchair and completely like hooked up to like medical equipment, is this ancient woman. You know Sandra Sylvain. Sandra Sylvain, she's old. She's like 60-something. This woman is like 140. There's no way this is Sandra Sylvain. Standing near her is a water genasi. Some kind of fish lady, basically. You can't tell if she's a Triton or... I said water genasi. You can't really tell if she's a Triton or a water genasi or what. She's some kind of aqueous humanoid creature. She's got blue skin. She's got green hair. She's wearing a uniform that you don't quite recognize, and you're, I'm assuming, tending to Sandra Sylvain, Dr. Lorelei?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Oh, absolutely. She's like going around checking tubes, making sure everything's hooked up right.
Right. At the sight of this creature, the chicken that you're holding goes crazy and starts wriggling like a small child. Dr. Lorelei, you heard the butler arrive and say that Sergeant Holderheck has arrived. You heard the door open, and then you heard Henrietta going absolutely batshit.
Stops what she's doing, turns around, claps her hands together, smiles, and goes, "Oh, you found Henrietta!"
This is your little nightmare of feathers?
I mean, she's a chicken, but yes. Thank you.
At this point, Ren is actually more interested in the medical equipment hooked up to this woman who does not seem possible to be Sandra Sylvain.
Right. Well, Brick would know that. You might not. Would you like to make a history check?
Yes.
Do so. All you gotta do is click on the word history in your skill list.
Hey, okay, could you turn the music down a little bit? Apparently it's really loud.
Sure. There you go. Okay.
Better, huh?
This woman is definitely related to Sandra Sylvain, but she's way too old. And she's, like, getting assistance breathing. She's getting pumped full of all kinds of alchemical fluids. There's probably, like, some kind of bellows-looking device that's, like, assisting her breathing and all kinds of stuff. And as you're looking at all of this, do you move closer, Ren? Do you, like, walk up to this equipment?
I walk up close to the equipment and immediately start poking and prodding. Never
So
disturbing, but examining.
So, Dr. Lorelei, this gnome that you do not recognize starts fucking with your shit.
Damn it, Mike. Okay, there's my mic. Hey,
Hi.
hey, don't do that.
Why? Clearly you have 3 different separate fail-safes in place, so if one went, what's the problem?
Still, I would rather we not have to use the fail-safes.
Then how do you know if they work?
Because I'm almost certain that the Brotherhood of the Fountain of Life would have not given me faulty equipment.
That's not a name you've heard before, either one of you.
Ma'am, I may not know what this Brotherhood of whatever was,
Fountain of
but
Life.
trust me. All right, Fountain of Life. But trust me, if everyone made everything right, people like me would not be making money.
What is going on here?
Are you still holding the chicken?
Yeah.
Okay. The chicken is still squirming like a toddler. You hear the door close behind you, and the butler steps to the middle of the room and he gestures and he says, "Allow me to present the mistress of the manor, Sindra Sylvain, Archmage Sindra Sylvain." He doesn't stutter, I did. "And Dr. Zuli Su Lorelei, of whom we are grateful for her care."
The doctor bows a little once her name is said, and then immediately goes back to giving Sparky this glare of "stop fucking with my equipment."
"I see confusion on your face, Sergeant."
Brick is just looking at Sindra Sylvain. He's not even, like, bothering to deny or anything. He just gives her a curt nod.
Ren at this point it glances back once he hears Sindra speak up, eyebrow arched.
Her voice
Confused but intrigued.
strong, but somewhat amplified by the metal tube, like, close to her nose. And she nods to you, Dr. Lorelei. She says, "Will you permit me to speak, Doctor?"
If you believe yourself capable of so, of course.
She nods, reaches up, and kind of moves the tube away from her nose a little bit. Gives a little cough, but mostly fine. And she says, "This that you see before you, this wasted and wasting husk, is why I called for the assistance of the Flaming Fist. Bertram, I believe you're neglecting your duties."
"Quite! Can I offer the gentleman a drink? Tea? Coffee? Something a bit more exotic?"
I will take a cup of coffee with 3 scoops of sugar and a dollop of milk.
And looks at
Coffee. Black.
you, and nods, and quietly leaves the room. Sandra Sylvain, like, meekly gestures for the two of you to make yourself comfortable in one of the myriad chairs and couches around the room. She says, "I am cursed, Sergeant."
Has Brick seen this?
No.
No.
Ren at this point would interrupt in with, "See, that seems to be a rather unique curse to waste away someone in such a manner."
The deleterious effects were not known to me for some time. I would endeavor to solve the matter myself, but were it not for the good doctor, I would be immobile.
And she kind of like bows and nods. "Anything I can do to help?"
So I'm curious then, my lady. Why would you invite one such as I unless you're just wanting me to fix up your equipment?
Because, for the task ahead, I am assembling a team. I need you to break the curse.
Brick nods. He would have known a little bit about the task ahead because of his orders, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
You were told to prepare. You were told where you were going.
Yeah. And you suspect this curse originates in Chult?
She nods. I do. And I believe that it is affecting far more than the likes of me. The plague that has been whispered about, I'm sure has reached your ears, Sergeant.
He looks down, thinking about hearing about how his mentor was sick, and looks back at her and nods.
Clerics have no help to offer. They're stymied by all that is going on. And if there is not help to be had in the realm of the divine, or, she turns to Dr. Lorelei, in the mundane, that only leaves the arcane.
Curious.
I have a theory. This curse, in whatever form it takes, is recompense.
Has Dr. Subin told any of these thoughts, or has
You
Cylinder
have heard
mostly...
this entire speech before.
So, yeah, no, this entire time, Sue is, like, nodding along, maybe repeating important words.
Years ago, my adventures were cut short. Simply put, I died.
Mm-hmm.
And I was resurrected. I gave up adventuring. As I'm sure the bookkeepers in the Fist will tell you, I've turned to philanthropic pursuits. But I would wager several of those afflicted by this plague have been returned to life. You know of what I speak, don't you, gentlemen?
I think I'm seeing it.
Bren merely stares, a slight nod, but clearly not willing to postulate until he knows all the information.
For ease, I have taken to referring to this affliction as a death curse. She waves a hand dismissively. My contacts tell me that there is a surge of necromantic power from Chult. We believe there is an artifact there, and I would like the three of you to find it, and if necessary, destroy it.
For an artifact to be able to affect multiple areas like this at a distance, this is clearly not something ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Be
God.
warned. Chult is not a place to be taken lightly. Giant reptiles, savage tribes, and an army of undead prowl the jungles and ruins. Mapping the place is nearly impossible, but I have a collection of notes that I will be sending with you.
Could this necromantic curse be linked with the undead in Schult, or are they aware of that yet?
We're a long way from Chult, Master Plicknick. You will have to ask the locals yourself.
Only one more question from me. Why us?
You, Sergeant, I could not say. I entreated the fist for assistance, and your lot came up. Dr. Lorelei came at behest of her own order, and, well...
She nods kind of smugly.
I sincerely apologize for what I'm about to say, Master Plicknick, but according to your record, it's this or prison.
Sue kind of immediately, like, upon hearing the word prison, looks over and kind of starts shooing him away from the medical equipment, like, no, 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 bad.
As I have told many people before, it is not up to me what my commissioners choose to do with my devices.
The barrister does not see it that way.
Barrister's still mad about that one 5 years ago, isn't he?
She just chuckles, kind of hollowly.
What did you do 5 years ago?
Quite frankly, it's a very long story.
What hasn't he done?
I don't know this gentleman. I also don't know you, to be fair.
Sergeant of the Flaming Fists, ma'am, and you will address me appropriately.
Understandable, Sergeant.
Oh, I'm gonna hate this man.
Oh yeah. When you're ready to depart, I can, through the means of magic, send you all to Port Nyanzaru with my footman, Bertrand, for assistance. Port Nyanzaru is the only major settlement in Chult, not counting the Fort of the Fist, of course, Sergeant. I've been there several times, so there's little chance of a misfired teleport. Once there, I recommend you look to a friend of mine, Wakanga Otamu. He's one of the merchant princes who rule the city. He knows to expect you.
Very well. I am ready.
Friend at this point merely gets up, pops his back, and just grabs his backpack. Well, no point in delaying it. Besides, this actually sounds like it might be interesting for once.
I will get my animals and my things packed, and I should be ready to go as soon as possible.
Here, take this feathered monstrosity off of me while you're at it.
Henrietta!
Yeah, Henrietta hops to the floor, looks offended at Brick, and then scuttles over to Zuli.
That, my friend, is no ordinary chicken.
She picks up the chicken and just kind of like gives her little scritches.
Sindra leans back in her plush armchair and kind of closes her eyes for a second as the door opens and the butler comes back in with 2 cups on a silver tray. He sets it down in front of the two of you, cups of coffee. And he looks over and frowns and says,
Mr. Sylvain, you shouldn't strain yourself so.
and she opens her eyes.
Agreed.
I don't intend to anymore, Bertrand. You'll be accompanying the adventurers.
I'll be what? Yes, mistress.
Bows at the waist.
Might as well enjoy this coffee while we can.
Ren picks up the coffee but looks at it suspiciously. There wouldn't happen to be anything in it beyond what we asked for, is there?
You have no way of knowing.
Well, no, but I asked that to the butler.
You're going to ask that in front of one of the most influential people in Waterdeep.
Y'all are so mean to this poor old lady and her butler. What the fuck?
What have I done?
Okay, no, not you, but like.
I'm just.
Ren
I
does
just.
not.
Shit.
Why do you think Ren's choice is either to go on this mission or prison?
Rick's just been curt.
I just like. Are you sure you want to say that in front of one of the most influential people in Baldur's Gate?
I admit, after you asked me, I probably shouldn't.
Fair enough.
I think Sue, Dr. Zuli, puts Henrietta on her head and like goes back to messing with the medical equipment. The chicken is perfectly tamed now.
Oh yeah, so you're just like chilling on your head.
This is my mother, and I love her.
So the butler just excuses himself, presumably to go get some things for the trip. And when you're finished fussing, Dr. Lorelei, Syndra, like, opens her eyes, takes a deep breath from the, like, assisted breathing machine, and she says, "Thank you, Doctor. I think you have done all that you can, save from the ultimate curative."
Is breaking this curse.
She, like, pats your hand. I know.
Is there anything else I'm needed for before I depart? I can explain to some of the other servants, if you like, how to work the equipment, how to fix anything in case of a failsafe needing to go off.
I'm quite capable of doing the same thing.
All right, ma'am.
You've been here a week, Doctor. I think we know.
Better safe than sorry, and having one of the machines malfunction.
So you gonna leave to go get your stuff?
She's going to bow to Miss Sylvain, thank her, and yeah, then she's gonna go just get her stuff.
So out you go. When the door closes and it's just Ren, Brick, and Syndra in the room, Syndra opens her eyes again, and she, like, gestures. She says, "Sergeant, on the table there's a leather-bound journal. It contains all the written records I have of the continent of Cholt and Port Nyanzaru. There's a map within. Take it with you."
Rick goes ahead and picks it up and leafs through it a bit.
Add Syndra's journal to your inventory, please. It weighs 2 pounds. If there's anything you require before departure, gentlemen, I am at your disposal. And she kind of chuckles painfully.
I think I have everything I need. Thank you, ma'am.
She nods. And she looks at Ren expectantly.
I have a feeling that there is more to this than what we know, but something tells me I'm not going to get the answers here. Am I?
I mean, that isn't... Like, are you asking Syndra?
Yes.
Ask your questions, Master Plicknick. I will answer as I can.
Well, to be honest with you, what makes you think this is an artifact and not just some general curse?
Are you inclined to the ways of the arcane, Master Plicknick? It determines how I answer you.
Just make sure. You want me to make an Arcana roll?
No, she's saying, do you understand magic?
Ma'am, I assume if you know the story involving the barrister, you would know that. Yes, I am very attuned with magic.
She nods. There seems to be an epicenter somewhere on the continent. And the epicenter moves about. That leads those understanding of such magical phenomena. It is either an artifact for a creature. For all of our sakes, I hope it is the former.
With this new information, Ren starts to look down, clearly losing himself in thought as he starts pacing back and forth, muttering occasionally to himself.
Dr. Lorelei, you know that Syndra intends to teleport you all from her library, so you're not bringing the ox cart.
Yeah, no.
So make sure you're bringing stuff you can carry.
Basically, I'm gonna have to go through the carriage and
That's
stuff and grab everything off of it that I can carry.
That's fine. If you want to be Jane Porter with entirely too many suitcases, that's acceptable.
I don't think she'd bring too many suitcases, but it's a question of what can I carry, because I have the cart.
Well, remember, you do have Bertrand, and if you need to enlist some other servants to carry your shit, you can.
Fair enough. I feel like she's probably going to, like, politely as this woman can do anything, ask for, like, maybe a couple other bags.
Oh, the bags themselves are no issue.
Alright.
You can presume that everything will be packed up. It's just a matter of make sure you have a note of what you want to bring. Your backpack in it.
Alright. Because I was given the 30 days by cart handout, so I'm trying to think of what I should take.
Well, while you're doing that, Brick and Ren, do you have anything else you want to ask Syndra while you have a moment?
Brick takes a sip of his coffee and just goes, knowing our luck, it'll likely be the latter.
Spoken like a seasoned adventurer, Sergeant. I agree with you, though it does not cost to hope.
Indeed.
No, but it is foolish to plan on hope.
Can you both make an insight check for me? Syndra Sylvain gets a look on her face that's kind of hard to read.
Kit real fast.
Yo.
If I try to add anything to my character sheet, it says I'm over carrying capacity.
Yeah, that's because you're over carrying capacity. Don't add it to your sheet, just make a note of what you're taking.
Alright.
Unless you want to burden yourself, which is fine.
No, that's a horrible idea, considering who I am and what I do.
You both rolled high enough on this. Well done, by the way, Mr. Oh, you rolled history, Ren, not insight.
I didn't roll yet at all. I was going to ask you because I have the insight. It's 1 on my sheet, but as you pointed out, like I have a plus 11 instead.
No.
Can I still click the insight
your
thing?
passive is 11. You have a plus 1 to your roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, Brick, you see this. Ren, you do not. You did not roll high enough. But you see when Ren says, don't plan on a hope, Syndra looks frustrated or sad. Like, somewhere in there. Like he hit a nerve quietly.
Brick chooses not to pry.
Okay. So if there's anything else you guys want to ask, you can. If not, we'll do another scene change where Lorelei with all of her bags, Bertram the butler, another servant to help carry the bags, and the two of you are gathered around Syndra as she's like forcing herself into a sitting position and charging up this arcane energy between her hands. If that's acceptable for everyone, then I want to make sure you guys are ready to leave Baldur's Gate.
Yes.
Sounds good.
I'm all for leaving Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
I have the items off the cart that I was taking, so I'm good.
Cool. So there is a flash of light, and everybody but Syndra in the room disappears. Syndra falls back into the chair, gasping and wheezing. She takes a little vial of medicine from the table beside her, pours it into her mouth. We don't even see her swallow. She just pours it down her throat. She closes her eyes. And we fade out on the scene. And we fade in on a place entirely different. Go back to the beginning of the song, please. It's been doing this all day, and I don't know why. There we go. We fade in on a port city. We see huge, like, multi-mast ships coming in. Where is my map? It's blank. Roll 20, why are you doing this to me?
It's working for me.
Working for me, too.
Not working
We
for
can see it.
me. There it goes. And multi-mast ships with brightly colored sails. Along the docks, we see stone and clay buildings stretching out into a deep jungle. On the far side, we see a huge golden pyramid, literally made of gold, off to one side. And we fade in on the sounds of a busy market and brightly clad people coming and going. Among them, a certain tabaxi. Scratch, why don't you take a moment to describe yourself?
The scratched face of a gold coin is a black tabaxi, almost kind of that panther black purple.
Nice.
And he's got these gold fur spots all over himself that kind of resemble coins in a sense. Something of a shawl covering common clothes underneath to give himself a little bit of extra flair because it's Chult.
Right.
If you don't have flair and Chult, you'll be lost to the crowd.
And what is Scratch doing when we fade over to the port of Chult?
He's probably stood.
And also, would you like to hear Scratch's theme song?
Of course I would.
I thought you might. Let me grab it here. I have theme songs for all of you, by the way.
Yay.
I'm curious what mine is.
So Scratch, this is what I have marked as Copper for your thoughts.
Oh.
This is Scratch's theme.
Oh, it's so piratey. I love it.
Okay, so what is Scratch doing?
He's probably like playing with a ball bearing in one hand and taking occasional sips out of his gourd.
Okay, so you
viewing. Yeah, he's like taking a look at the.
Are you like sitting at
a
sitting at like a cafe, like watching the street?
Yeah, trying to pick out good people that he hasn't hit before.
Right. So you take a drink, kind of waving a ball bearing between your claws. What's your passive perception, Scratch?
14.
14. Okay. For the sake of comedy, can you make a DC 14 perception check for me, please? Okay. So you see it. Whether or not you do anything about it is up to you. You see one of the prince's goons. You see he's a large man, tan from the sun. He's got one of those big metal like collars on, a torque. No shirt. He's got like the pirate pants on with a big falchion on the side, wearing like big gold like bangles on his wrist, and he's just moving through the crowd with his arms folded. And he looks right at you and starts walking over.
I think he just takes a really long swig, thinking, "This is not where my day is supposed to go."
So you like pull back on the gourd, and you like lean your head back, get a bit, and your chair like tips back, and you're like, oh shit! And you go to like throw your arms up, and when you do, 2 more of these guards like grab your outstretched arms and just haul you out of the chair.
Okay, hold on. I can explain. I didn't do it.
Prince Otamu wants to see you.
I didn't do it.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage. That's what I thought.
Fuck. That's so perfect.
It's so good. So your hands are like pinned behind your back, and you're starting to get marched down the street as the guard who spoke to you turns around and just starts barking to the crowd, "Make way! Make way!"
Can we just not do the pit this time at least?
You are getting perp walked. You are getting perp walked through the streets of Chult. What do you do?
He's just gonna roll with it and just, can we not do the pit this time, please?
This time.
I'd like to just be thrown to the maw. Thank you.
So one of the guards, he says like, "Quiet," and you see him like reach for like a club on his belt, like not quite a nightstick, but kind of like a crozier, and he goes to like pull it back, and there's like a big tassel on the end of it, but it's still gonna hurt. And he goes to like whap you around the back of the head, and the head guard like turns around and like grabs his wrist, and he goes,
Not this time. Prince Otamu wants to speak with him.
Okay, now I know I didn't do this one. If he wants to talk to me personally, no, I didn't do this one.
So you're led to the streets. Do you try to like resist or get away or anything?
Normally I feel like he would, but today is just... It's not that kind of day.
I mean, at least it's sunny for the moment.
Yeah. And
Though,
also,
that being said, the streets are wet, so it rained earlier.
Right. And additionally, he wants to talk to me.
Yeah.
And the last time just went so well.
Right? Yeah. So we see you like, yeah, just like hands pinned behind your back, just force march through the streets of Chult. As like you're not being held by 2 guards now. Now there's 1 guard holding you, marching you forward. The head guard has turned back around and he's like yelling for people to get the fuck out the way. We see like the vibrant markets of Chult as you're marched through them, right? We see the exotic piles of spices and the various produce and the big piles of gems and fine silks. We also see like the pack dinosaurs, right? Like the Triceratops and the Stegosaurus is like moving like hurriedly out of the way as the guards like push them aside. The guard who went to like take the crozier to the back of your head has fallen back, and he's like walking behind, and he's just like given the stink eye to pickpockets. It would be a military escort except for the fact that you're bound. Like it would almost be honorable except for the fact that they've made it very clear that you are trash.
So has the wife and kids.
But we pan to the side of that as you are walking along the harbor ward toward Prince Otamu's estate, and the camera like freezes on a pier as you disappear into the crowd. There's a flash of light, and then Brick, Ren, Brick, Sparky, Dr. Lorelei, Bertram, the other servant, all of Dr. Lorelei's bags, and Henrietta all just appear suddenly. There's a shout from the people in the dock, like, what the fuck? Like, a bunch of people point. Welcome to Chult, adventurers.
Did I see that?
No.
Or no?
You
Okay.
already gone.
I think upon them teleporting there, do we like just land on our feet?
Yeah.
We're good.
You land in the same position you departed in.
Yeah, then Zuli, like, checks Henrietta over, makes sure she's okay, puts her back on her head, grabs some of the bags, her backpack, and starts walking.
Do you have any idea where you're going?
No, she's mostly looking around for, like, someone who looks like they could be some sort of official.
Okay. Make an investigation check. You see, on the dock, you see several sailor types, several pirate types, several merchant types, and a bunch of, heavily muzzled shirtless dudes with, like, metal adornments.
Well, none of those particularly sound like they'd be the authority types, and I don't know anything about Schultz. So
Yeah,
she looks
right.
over to the others. She looks over to, like, the two servants. So do either know where we're supposed to be going, out of curiosity?
I understand that Prince Otamu is expecting our arrival, though I'm not certain where the prince currently resides.
Ren, at this point, after rubbing nose of his bridge for a few minutes, looks around to see if he could figure out someone who could actually tell him where to go.
Make an investigation check. Yes, by virtue of that roll, Ren, when Bertram says Prince Otamu, one of the big, like, metal-clad shirtless dudes, like, looked over and is now walking towards you.
Well, I believe that someone is at least interested in our presence here, so they might be able to give us some advice. All the same, Brick, I would suggest that you be ready just in case.
Who are you? What boat are you with?
A boat, magic, teleported here.
Ah. Outlanders.
Post.
Papers, now!
She kind of gives him a bit of a confused look and then she goes, oh! And she starts rummaging through her bag for her doctor's paper, pulls them out and, like, offers them to him.
Yeah, he snatches it, scowls at it, pages through them, scowls. I assume these are official, legit paperwork.
Yes, they are.
Holds it back out to you. Turns to the rest of you. Papers!
Brick just hands him his insignia of rank for the fists.
Okay. He takes it, looks at it. And he gives you the look that you have seen very often before, Brick. It is an unmistakable Baldur's Gate look, but you didn't expect to see it on the other side of the world, which is a fucking fist sergeant. It just shoves the identification back to you. Like, it's identical to the look that some people in Baldur's Gate give you.
Brick just glares daggers at him.
Bertram hands over a pile of paperwork, like a sizable stack of paperwork.
I believe everything will be in order here, sir.
He takes it, rummages through them. You see his eyebrows go up as he's looking through them. Stops. Goes back a page. Squints at something, goes through it. And it takes him a minute to go through all of the... Like, Bertram gave him a big stack of papers. He looks at the group of you, looks you up and down. You want a cart?
That would be greatly appreciated.
You have coin?
And Bertram pulls out this huge-ass bag of coin. Like, it was inside his jacket, and it, like, weighs down when he lifts the top of it.
Oh my.
Reaches inside, pulls out a handful of gold coins, passes it to him, puts the thing back in his coat, and says,
I believe that should cover the rental and your assistance, sir.
And immediately he brightens. Immediately the guard is, like, all smiles. He takes the money and he nods. He says, I will get that for you right away. Welcome to Port Nyanzaru. And he turns and he walks away.
Ah, it's that kind of town.
Yeah.
The richest port in our realm, Sergeant. They do more business here than Waterdeep.
Ryan,
While sitting next to a jungle full of dangerous reptiles and undead.
Quite
oh,
a marvel,
gods.
isn't it?
What have I gotten myself into this time?
A little bit later, the guard returns with, and none of you have seen this before, a triceratops pulling an ox cart. What do you do?
The doctor gets this like starstruck look and is like, "And what is this?" She's like looking at the triceratops and she's like fascinated.
Make an animal handling check. So what you're looking at, Dr. Lorelei, is a like 9-foot tall quadrupedal, vaguely avian reptile with this huge head and a big frill on the back of its head and these 3 great horns coming out of the middle of its face. It's got a tail like a tree trunk, and it's behaving rather bovinely, as it's like strapped to this cart. There's a driver on the back of the cart, and the guard was walking alongside. And when you say, "What is this?" the guard looks at the driver, and the driver like nods, and he says,
It's Lotus, my prized sow.
Sue like gives him this wild smile. That is so neat. I like it.
He gives you a confused look when you say unique, as the servants are loading all of your shit into the back of the cart. And the guard says, "You come to see Prince Otamu. Into the cart, all of you. Come.
And like yeah, Sue like gets into the cart. She's holding Henrietta close.
Of course.
Ryan gets in the cart, one hand constantly on his bag, and
You
just
actually need help getting into the cart, Ren. You're a small creature, and it's like a a hayride wagon. But the guard will like grab you by the back of your pants and like haul you into the back if you start struggling.
Or Brick will just offer his hand.
Or that.
Ryan will take Brick's hand, for he'd rather not get in that undignified.
Fair enough. The guards get into the wagon, and the guard the servants get into the wagon. The guard closes the back of the wagon, and he says something in a language that you don't speak. And the driver like tugs the reins, and Lotus starts to pull the cart through the streets of Chult, through the markets of Chult, the widely colored souk of Port Nyanzaru. You see things that you have never seen before, and the things that you have seen before are absurd. You see a market stall selling gold bars. Literally just market stall, like where you would go and get apples, with a big ass pile of gold bars on it. You see fruits that you cannot name. You see animals the likes of which you've never seen before. The people here are a melange of colors, shouting in various languages. Many of them try to get your attention as the cart pulls you through the streets. Do any of you react?
Brick knows better.
Okay.
I think Sue is like looking around, but I don't think she makes eye contact with anyone. She's more just trying to take it all in.
Okay.
Ryan keeps a lookout on the market wares to see if anything in particular catches his eye.
Make a perception check. Too much catches your eye. Frankly, everything looks wonderful and mysterious and interesting.
I might have to come back here once we get some free time. There might be something of worth here after all. And says to himself while smirking.
Yes. And plenty of people trying to steal your coin, and not just the pickpockets.
Well, that's part of the reason why I have you here, don't I, friend?
Indeed.
Brick, you can see the walls of Port Nyanzaru from your perch on the carriage. There are ballistae along the walls and trebuchets, but not cannons.
He makes a mental note of that.
The cart pulls you through the streets. You're led up a long ramp, and you think perhaps this is where you're going, but then it starts moving along the high road between these hills in the middle of Port Nyanzaru. And eventually you go to the, like, Heart of Darkness equivalent of Beverly Hills, like these, like, palatial estates with, like, water features and, like, tamed gardens and high fences, but, like, artistically designed, like, Hercules' villa from the Hercules movie. And you're led to one of these, and there's a what's the white stone, granite or marble? I always get it wrong.
Marble.
Thank you. There's a big marble fence with, like, silver-tipped iron railings on the top, and a big, like, golden gate. And in front of it are these, like, lavishly dressed, like, almost Bedouin-looking guards. They got these long blue robes and the scimitars on their belts. And there's 6 of them. They're standing outside of this gate as the cart pulls up, and one of them, like, holds his hand up, and he says something to the driver in a dialect of common that you don't know. And the driver, like, says something back and gestures at you, and he turns, and in a language that you do understand, he says, "Ah! Prince Otamu has been expecting you."
Of course. And, like, Zuli starts to go for her bags after saying, like, "Oh, of course," and she starts,
like, the back of the wagon opens, and the guard says, "He expected you 3 days ago," and they all, like, laugh like he said something funny.
She her jaw kind of drops a little bit, but then she immediately stops and straightens up. Well, that's on me, I'm afraid. So sorry about that. I'll have to apologize once I see him.
Bren arches an eyebrow. That tends to be his thing when someone does something curious. But doesn't comment. He's learned long ago that sometimes saying something at the wrong opportunity is a good way to get run out of town.
The servants gather up all the bags. 2 of the guards open the gate, and 4 of the guards flank the group of you as you're led into this estate. You're not led to the house. You're led around back to there's a pool in the back. Big, like, marble pool with, like, blue lining, like, mosaic lining, like, Roman style. And, like, chilling on, like, a fantasy pool floaty in, like, board shorts is this dude. I'm gonna try to find his art handout because I can never fucking find it. Let me see if I can find this guy for you because he's cool. Here we go. Boop. This dude, he's dressed differently. He's still wearing the headscarf. He's still wearing the jewelry, but he's shirtless, wearing, like, a pair of, like, wrapped shorts on this floaty. He's got a drink in a gold goblet that he's, like, sipping from. And he's got, like, cucumber slices over his eyes. And all of the chairs around the pool are, like, really opulent. They're, like, stuffed silk. Mind you, they're out in the sun, but they're, like, stuffed silk cushions over wooden frames capped with gold. There's, like, umbrellas, and there's a pitcher of some kind of drink, but it's got ice in it. And mind you, it's, like, 90 degrees. and he's got a pitcher with ice in it. And you're led out there, and like the guards kind of like look at each other like, oh fuck, who's gonna do it? And one of them says, Prince Otamu, and then he says something in a language you don't understand. And the dude in the pool like sits up, takes the cucumbers off of his eyes, and breaks into a wide smile, and he says, "There you are! There you are! I'd been waiting some days to meet Sintra Sylvain's friends. Come, sit. Whatever you require, my men will get it for you." And you watch, and he like flicks his hand, and the water in the pool separates and makes a current, and the floaty that he's on just hits the current and glides to the side of the pool, and he just steps out.
Sue looks thoroughly impressed, just smiles, straightens up.
He's like 6'8", just throwing that out.
This man is so rich, even water listens to him.
Yes! He is so rich that even water listens to him.
Nice. Of the impression, you see one rich man, you've seen them all.
I promise you have never seen the like of Wakanda Otamu before. The servants with you do not sit down, but they do take out like handkerchiefs and like dust the chairs for you to sit down, of which Prince Otamu's servants like glare at them like, how dare you, like, we're clean, fuck you. And then like, yeah, gesture for you guys to sit down if you want. And one of the like Bedouin looking guards comes up to you, and he doesn't say anything, but he's giving you that expectant servant posture, like, tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Brick goes ahead and takes a seat.
Okay. You sit down in like the pool chairs. Prince Otamu like holds his arms out, and these like beautiful, like tanned like women, they're not completely human, but you're not sure what they are, come out of fucking nowhere and like wrap him in fine silks. And one of them has like a pillow with a bunch of jewelry on it, and he's like putting bangles on and rings on. Another, a young like boy, perfectly groomed and like oiled, like has like a sword on a pillow that he holds out, and they're like just dressing Prince Otamu as you're getting settled. He didn't say a word.
Dr. Zully takes a seat and like looks around a bit. It's a very wonderful place you have.
Isn't it? It's mine. Haha. And he gestures when he says it's mine, and before he returns his hand to his side, someone has put a glass in it, and he toasts you and takes a drink.
Ren sits down, stares, staring at the pool, some wondering how he managed to get the water to do the current, at the least, finding that bit interesting.
Make an Arcana check.
While he does that, Sue kind of like perks up a bit, like sets Henrietta next to her in the chair and is like, I'm so sorry that we were a couple days late. I was
Late?
helping.
Who said you were late?
Oh, I was given the impression we were supposed to be here a few days ago.
Who told you that? I told Mistress Sylvain to send her best men today, and here you are.
She kind of gives like a slightly confused look, but then just kind of shrugs. Well, it was still better to apologize in case we had made such a error.
Oh, no. But new friends cause for celebration, I think. Food, wine. What is your pleasure?
And he does that like obscenely rich person thing where he just sits down and there's like a palanquin behind him.
Water for me, thanks.
And for the gentleman.
Still a little early for the good stuff.
Never too
Indeed.
early for the good stuff, my friend.
Oh, by the way, Kit, did I pass the Arcana check or not?
Oh, yes. He cast a spell. He used Shape Water to do that.
Maybe you have a point, friend. A glass of ale.
Ale.
Make that 2 if you have. Make that 2.
Ale. Do we have ale? And he looks at the servant standing just like off to the side. He says, "Do we have ale?" And the servant just walks away. And Prince Otamu laughs. He says, "So, you, I know, or rather I recognize that symbol, Sergeant. But your faces, I do not know them. Who graces my pool this afternoon?"
Sue immediately stands up upon this being addressed and bows a little. Dr. Zuli Sue Lorelei of the Fountain of the Brotherhood of Life.
He nods, still massive smile on his face.
Awesome. But go ahead.
Ren Plicknick, Sparky for short. Inventor of Baldur's Gate.
You invented Baldur's Gate. That is truly a claim, my friend.
Not invented, but I have added many new flavors to it over the years.
Perhaps you can do the same to my estate. You're not sure if he means the place where you are or if he means Port Nyanzaru.
Oscar Holderheck, commonly known as Brick, Sergeant of the Flaming Fists, as you have already surmised.
Brick. Strong foundation. But perhaps Pillar is more suiting. Takes another drink. I was concerned. Mistress Sylvain sends me such interesting faces, but it's always work, work, work. Come, let us celebrate. There will be time to save the world later,
I was treating Miss Sylvain for quite some time. Her condition did seem awfully bad, I'm afraid.
He
I was wondering
his smile fades slightly, and he leans forward in his chair and he says, "She is not doing well."
She never told you?
I am familiar with her plight, but not her recent condition. We are a long way from Baldur's Gate. I've never been myself.
Nice. I was a visitor to the city. It's quite a sight.
She looks like she's doubled in age.
That is no way to speak of a woman. Sergeant, I am disappointed in you.
Unfortunately, that isn't much of an exaggeration. I know it's incredibly rude, but whatever. How much of this does he know?
You don't know.
How much of Mistress Sylvain's condition do you know, my lord?
He holds a hand up like, wait, and he says, "Wakanga, or Prince Otamu if you owe me money."
All right. And she kind of fumbles with the name for a second, but eventually gets it. How much do you know of the situation with Miss Sylvain?
Likely more than you, Doctor.
Fair enough, but, were you told she thinks it might be a curse?
I'm the one who told her.
Fair enough. Good to know. I'll have to ask a few questions later. But,
You are welcome to do so at your pleasure, though I do recommend pleasure first, as with all things. And he goes to say something else, and one of the women that are now taken to fanning him with giant peacock feathers, leans over and whispers something, and he frowns. And he looks back and he nods and shoos her away. She leaves. And he says, "Ah, but first it seems the last of our party has arrived. What kind of host would I be to turn you loose in the savage jungle without a guide, You didn't think I was going out there, did you?
No, of course not. I more or less just assumed we'd be given a little more information on the situation about the jungles. And I have another question once we get through introductions of the party.
Of course. And I am interested in those introductions and your questions besides. But first, allow me to introduce to you my longtime friend and confidant, the best guide in all of Port Nyanzaru." And he nods, and Scratch, you are rather unceremoniously tossed towards Prince Otamu's pool.
So
into the water?
No, like when I say tossed, I don't mean picked up and thrown. I mean you're shoved forward by your shoulders.
Hello, it is me. Why am I here?
I thought you would be interested in meeting our new friend, Scratch. All the way from Baldur's Gate.
Does Wakanga know
Yes.
Scratch well enough to know his
Yes.
mark? Like his, pretty shiny coins in their pockets?
Yes.
He knows Scratch well enough to know that face.
Uh-huh.
Because he hears that, looks at them, and that's immediately in his eye. I am to do what, Prince Otamu?
Pay off your debt to me, mostly.
Fair, it is. You have a fair point, my friend.
These good people are here to help us, Scratch.
And I am to guide them through this project.
Your prince is not so blind that he has not seen the state of the lower city, Scratch. The plague is here as well. These heroes from Baldur's Gate have come to help us break the death curse.
An honorable goal indeed.
Scratch, make a history check.
Remembering I can't whistle.
Thank you. This is not the first time you've had this conversation.
Uh-oh.
This is not the 10th time you've had this conversation.
Oh, no.
Of course, my prince. I am certain that these heroes shall be the ones to save us. The first group, truly, shall be the best batch.
He gives you this look like, shut up, cat. Just very slight narrowing of his eyes, just like,
He gives this, slight smirk, okay, come on.
Excuse me, the first group?
Of course.
There have been several calls, and you are the first to honor us with your assistance.
Brick is once again glaring daggers at this cat.
Brick and Rin, you're both given Baldian style tumblers full of ice with very fine ale in it. Dr. Lorelei, you are given a goblet of ice water.
She thanks whoever hands it to her.
Again, I point out that it's like 90 degrees.
She's thoroughly impressed and asks, out of my own curiosity, are you two a mage? I noticed you seem to use magic on the water.
No, you didn't. The only one who rolled for that was Ren.
Ah, fair. She's still gonna ask because she's assuming.
She can do it too. Wouldn't it be a logical jump?
She can, but she didn't make the roll. She can't say, I saw you do that, when she didn't make the roll.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
If you want to make an Arcana check, you can.
Never mind.
Okay.
She just thanks the servant.
So...
now that's definitely the good stuff.
Red takes out the tumbler and knocks it against Brick's. Well, here's to another fine mess we find ourselves in.
My friend, you think that is the good stuff? Obviously, you have never had Tej. A beautiful concoction you can only get here in Chult.
Port Nyanzaru.
Port Nyanzaru.
Brick's smile fades a bit. He raises an eyebrow and goes, "You'll have to introduce me sometime."
Certainly, you brought a sample, didn't you?
Of course, I've got it here on my belt.
Make a dexterity saving throw. Remember, you can always choose to fail. What is your dexterity modifier?
For saves or throw, or in general?
Saves. What's the modifier?
6.
Okay,
Holy
wow. Shit. Okay. So you're a little bit faster than Prince Otamu then, but he's already reaching for the gourd on your belt. Looks like a sake gourd, basically.
Yeah, if he's already reaching, if like I imagine, scratch his hand, starts going for it, and he sees Otamu reaching, and it just clacks his hands together.
Okay.
If Otamu's gonna grab it, he's just gonna let him grab it.
So he just takes the gourd from your belt. You see him like very, very briefly like check the weight to make sure that it's full, and then he tosses it to Brick. Brick, basically a sake gourd lands on the chair in front of you. It sloshes. A local specialty. Push to talk better.
Yeah. Brick uncorks it, takes a quick smell.
Smells like mead. Smells like fruity mead. If mead was made from like apples, basically, like honey and apples, it smells like that.
All right. He takes a sip of it.
It's very sweet, but it's unlike any liquor you've had before. It's definitely liquor. It's definitely alcoholic.
Quite interesting. Sparky, here. You gotta try this. And he hands the gourd over.
While they're passing the gourd back and forth, Scratch, Wakanga, like, still smiling at them, turns his eyes to you and just gives you, like, the pharaoh nod. Just, like, the very slight, like, good job.
He does the little, like, of course, like, nod back.
Sue is just sitting there sipping on her water and petting Henrietta.
Right. I am but one prince of Port Nyanzaru, but my reach is vast. If there is anything you need that our city can offer you, or any delights you have not experienced, I can make arrangements. I have already commissioned a dinner be prepared. Perhaps we can discuss our business over that, but that will be some hours yet.
Enough
Fine.
time to give a tour, perhaps.
A wonderful idea, Scratch. Yes, you, he points a finger at you, will take our friends around the city, show them the sights, and... Yeah, sorry. The accent is a little bit difficult.
You did it.
Take them around the city, show them the sights, and he says it as a warning. Keep them away from the pickpockets,
I shall do my utmost.
Do you require a guard? You do not, in any way, want to be walking around the city with Prince Otamu's guards with you.
No, my prince. Your offer is graciously appreciated, but we shall be fine.
Very well. Providing, of course, our new associates would like a tour of our humble port.
First. And she like claps her hands together and sits up a little straighter again.
Sounds good to me. Better to know the layout.
Scratch. Prince Otamu like reaches out, and one of the servants appears with a bag on a pillow, and Prince Otamu picks it up and holds it out to you without looking at it. He says, "Make sure they have rooms at the Thundering Lizard."
He takes a bag and goes, "Of course, my prince, of course."
Ring lizard?
A wonderful little tavern. It's quite nice. It's
The
a
finest in the city. Bring them back
Finest.
here before sundown, Scratch. I'll have dinner prepared, and we can discuss the tenure of your assignment.
Of course, my prince.
And Wakanga stands up, the palanquin seemingly disappearing under him, and he raises his glass to the four of you, and he says, "Welcome again to Port Nyanzaru," and he turns to go inside the estate. The guards
Thank
are
you.
all glaring at Scratch as they leave.
Zulium kind of finishes off her water, sets the glass somewhere safe, and
You go to set it down, and a servant is just like at your shoulder with a platter.
Oh, thank you.
These people are terrifyingly fast.
He's one of the princes!
Still,
He's one of the princes! He's arguably the richest prince!
that's
Nice.
fair.
He's basically Ramses, man! You want to tell me that they weren't doing that shit for Cleopatra? Because bullshit.
I guess when you're a magic bitch, things you tend to be the best.
Yeah, right. So
Brick finishes downing his
eventually,
ale, tosses the gourd back to the cat.
do you cork it first?
Yeah.
Okay. Scratch, make a dexterity saving throw.
Ouch.
Brick, make a sleight of hand check.
Toss, yoink.
Cool. So you toss it, cat catches it, and the four of you are left as alone as you can be in a prince's estate around the pool.
So,
Run.
is there any preferences on where we go first?
Sue stands up, kind of looks at the other two. Not particularly, unless there's anywhere I could find a few more medical supplies.
Medical supplies. Depending on what you need, we may need to go to the souk.
Sue?
What is a way to put it? The Grand Souk. It's shall we say, one of the beating hearts of the city.
Hmm.
If you want something from anywhere in the world, you can get it at the souk.
Maybe. That might be what I'm looking for. I'm mostly just interested in getting maybe a few scalpels or something.
If you want knives, I know a guy.
Scalpels and knives are not to be interchanged, especially not in a professional medical situation. Knives can be used on at a moment's notice, but it's not recommended.
Hmm.
I see it's always very matter of fact with you. Doctor?
Well, as you said, I'm a doctor. It's my job to help people as effectively as possible.
A doctor, I see. You could make a
Indeed.
great deal of money here at Chelt.
Are there a lot of people who need help?
Always, and there are always people willing to pay for a good doctor.
I'll have to talk to the Brotherhood about getting something set up here.
In the meantime, how about we make our way to the souk, yes?
Like scoops up Henrietta and like perks up, smiling.
I see you even brought lunch. He laughs to himself.
Oh, not lunch. This is one of my traveling companions. I got her for helping deliver a baby while I was traveling. She says this so deadpan.
A chicken for a baby, that...
People couldn't afford to pay me in money for the help, so I took what they could give. I got a bag of marbles for setting a broken arm. I'm not complaining.
I would. There's not a lot of value. The point is, we should be off.
Indeed.
Please feel free to release questions as they become relevant.
Let's, before the doctor's mad chicken decides to aggravate Brick again.
Chicken. She just has a vibe.
Scratch is gonna turn around and start making his way out.
Sue like follows borderline on his heels, like literally right behind him.
So you going straight to the souk, Scratch?
Yeah.
So you're gonna go out. So you guys are here, right?
Yeah.
You gotta go out along this way, past the I've forgotten the name of the damn building. Golden Hall,
Believe so.
I think. Hang on. Golden Throne. Past Golden Throne, and then down into the city proper, and then from there, make your way down to the Grand Souk, which I believe is down here? Down here?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
No, my bad.
It's quite a ways.
It's the biggest
Oh,
red building.
it's this thing. That's still pretty far. That's a long ass. Yeah. So you're gonna be walking for a while. Pretty much from here, basically when you get out of the Cloud District, right, and start going through the city, you are accosted from every side. Who are these people? What have you gotten yourself into? Are you in some kind of trouble? Where's my money? A lot of people come up to Scratch demanding money.
You'll get it. You know how I do things. Step away.
Sue kind of picks up a bit. Why are these people demanding money from you?
It's the way Port Nanzaru runs. If you don't have coin, you die.
Trust me,
Kind of.
doctor.
I avoid paying debts until my life is threatened.
So what you're saying is, for us to get the best results out of you, we need to have a knife against your neck.
In foreign lands, you'd try?
Our guide.
Are you doing anything to ward away the various hawkers that are going to accost the outsiders, Scratch?
Oh yeah. He's just gonna like, no, sit. They'll come to you later.
Make a persuasion check. Do you give the party any advice for traveling through the busy market?
Unless I say they're trustworthy, don't give them time yet.
Okay.
If we pass by, God, what's her name? Red Sky, Madam
Red?
If we pass by Madam Red, Scratch is going to stop.
No, Madam Red is like in the warp. Madam Red is like down here, man.
Okay, I haven't seen this map yet, so I didn't.
Yeah, no.
Really.
No, remember, Madam Red is in the fish cutter's alley or whatever it's called.
Right. I haven't seen this map yet, so I wasn't really sure.
Okay. You get about here, where you have to pass under the wall to get out of the Cloud District. And what's your marching order, just for the sake of it? So Scratch is in front. So Dr. Lorelei is like at Scratch's shoulder. What about the boys? Where you at?
Brick's taking up the rear.
Taking up the rear? Okay. Ren, you're in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Scratch, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Dexterity saving throws all frickin' day.
Good. Okay, so you all see it, Dr. Lorelei, you see it firsthand. You pass under the stone arch. Somebody in black leather grabs Scratch and tries to haul him off to the side. Doesn't see you. Fails. Scratch like wriggles away like an eel. Turns around. Scratch, you see Kulahu? She's a bookie. She takes bets at Executioner's Run. She tried to just like grab you off the street. She didn't see the others.
I was about to say, if he doesn't recognize them, he would have been screaming like a fucking monkey.
You absolutely recognize her. She's a bookie.
What do you want?
My money. All of it.
I'm doing a job right now. Can we
I
do
don't
this
care.
later?
What, you're doing a job for one of the princes? Give me my money, Scratch.
Actually, yes, I am doing a job for the princes.
She spits on your feet. Don't lie to me.
Hey!
Yes. Hi there.
These are outlanders. Under the care of a Prince Wakanda.
She rolls her eyes, and in the Chilton dialect says, "I thought I smelled fish."
Now you hold on a moment. That one might be a fish, but that's rude.
No. I thought I smelled fish is an unkind epithet for outlanders. Because they arrive by boat.
He knows. He's just getting the opportunity to get a jab in on the doctor.
Okay, are you speaking in the Chilton dialect, or are you speaking in common?
Just common.
Okay, so
now hold on. That one may look like a fish, but that's quite rude.
She glares at you in that distinctly, "How dare you call me out like this" way.
Scowling.
The most smug grin ever.
So the rest of you see this like female human. She's wearing like black leather like chest piece and like it's almost a black leather armored tunic. It goes to about her mid thigh. She's wearing like a big like blue shawl over it. She's got like a neck wrap and a headscarf in one piece, and it also turns into like a cape. It's this big piece of blue silk. She's got like a clipboard basically under her arm with a little notebook like pinned against it, like almost like a student. And in her left hand, opposite the stuff under her arm, she's got like a just a utility knife. She's not brandishing it; it's just like in her hand, and she's just glaring at Scratch.
How much do I owe you?
She pulls out her ledger, looks at it. Do you want a number? You're just going to run away.
Let's hear the number, because I don't remember.
500 gold.
I can't pay that right now.
Yes, you can. because I have a job for you.
500 gold. What is he?
If it's not too bad, I'll take you up on it.
Taban defaulted on his loan. You're getting it back from me.
I'm sorry, say that again, but in a way I can understand, please.
Okay, GM. Taban defaulted on his loan. I need you to get it back from me. Taban. Taban.
Give me 1 second.
Remind me who Taban is again.
No one is of importance. He just lost a lot of money in a race.
More than me?
500 gold? The difference is he has it, Scratch.
Okay, that's fair. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Where can I find him?
She nods. She says, he's a gladiator. Try the fight pits.
Oh, you're trying to get me killed.
I could throw you in the run myself!
We both know how that went last time.
I'm sorry, the fight pit?
Oh, hold on, I'll explain in a minute. We both know how that went last time.
Okay, so 2 things. 1, Kalahu is completely played by Teodama from the Pirates franchise, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
And the other thing is, you say, I'm sorry, fight pits, and she turns to you, and in Cholton dialect, she says, be quiet, lobster face.
I'm assuming Scratch can speak it as well.
Yeah, 100%.
He's just gonna like squint, like yikes, and just go, tone it down. Like I get it. They're Outlanders. Fuck them, with the rustiest sword. But come on, they're the prince. They're the guests of Prince Wakanga.
Do they have money?
Probably.
She brightens. Welcome to Port Nanzaru! Could I interest you in betting on some races? We have many attractions here. Executioner's Run, dino races, fighting pit. I can arrange it all.
How about
You
I
told
show
her
them?
we have money, didn't you?
Look,
You-
taken aback, like...
You'll learn quickly. I don't like you. But yes, I did. How about I show them the attractions and you tell them where they can find you, and then we talk about
How
deals.
about you get my money, Scratch?
I plan to.
Ma'am, while I'm sure his debt to you is fair and valid, or at least not worth my annoyance, unfortunately, we actually need him around for at least a little bit.
Zuli
Oh,
kind
don't
of
In Cholton dialect, when Ren says that, she says to you, Scratch, she says, Scratch, what did you agree to? That one smells like gunpowder.
In the Cholton, he's gonna
Right.
like look at her and go, put simply, I accidentally made a bet a while back, and now I have to guide these idiots to saving Cholt.
Saving Cholt from what?
The plague.
She starts laughing hysterically.
I know, but
Like, she almost drops her clipboard. Like, she's holding her stomach. You guys have no idea what the fuck Scratch said, but apparently she lost it.
At this point, I think Ren would at least pick up by the laughing enough to start face palming.
Before you take them out into the jungle to die, I want my money, Scratch. All of it. Yours and Taban's.
We'll get it. You said this job will pay off, man, so don't worry. If I
Good.
can free myself of you, then I can see what I can do. And don't worry, you're big and brawny. You'll be coming with me for this. He's saying that to Brick.
Right. Yeah. In common, she says, I think she's agreeing with you, but she says it in common. She says, "Yes, you, the flaming fist looking thing. This one owes me money. Beat him."
Trust me, if he gives me a reason to, I will.
I don't think I know enough about medicine to help if he gets beaten too severely, so please don't.
Since when do we side with the Flaming Fist? Come on.
When they pay, you know this.
Alright, fair enough.
Since
Taban,
I'm
fight
the one
pits,
with
go.
the firearm.
Hey, if you pay me, I'll be a good law-abiding citizen. Anyway.
You say firearm, and she literally looks at your arm.
I think Scratch does too, like what?
Stu kind of gives you a confused look, like, what?
Those can light on fire?
Friend, I told you many times that term is not exactly well known.
Should I give a demonstration then?
No.
Yes, demonstrate on him.
No.
He will die.
Good.
But then you won't get your money from Taban.
I will get a great deal of money for your hide.
At this, Lorelai tries to step between the two of them. The guy does not die.
Guide.
I like the doctor.
Guide. She's like looking Lorelai up and down. This is you hired this. She starts laughing again. Scratch, did you tell them you were afraid of the jungle? She says it in Cholton dialect. Did you tell them you were afraid of the jungle?
I have not.
So she stops, like, she composes herself, and she, like, she does that thing where she, like, pretties up her language. It, like, makes her common better. Like, takes her a second. And she says to you, Dr. Lorelai, she says, the cat does not like the trees.
She turns around.
Sorry.
She turns around and is like, then why the hell would the prince tell you to guide us?
and Kalahu says, because he owes the prince more money than he owes me.
Fair enough.
Well, no, that's not entirely true, but you're on the right track. In the Cholton dialect, he says, I drunkenly made a bet a while back that, more people knew me than knew him.
Do they know?
No.
You see her start to speak again.
I'll give you an extra 5 gold right now to say nothing.
So the rest of you see her start to speak. She closes her mouth and holds her hand out to Scratch.
He'll head over the 5.
Takes it. Pockets it. 495 to go.
Question mark.
Plus interest, Scratch.
I understand. I'm gonna go get the job done and I'll get you more.
Can Ren at this point, like, just ask Scratch point blank, are we just being set up to die or such? Or...
The most of that is in common. If I don't say that she's speaking in the Cholton dialect, you understood her.
Well, I'm saying, like, do I need to show... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Speaking frankly, we're being asked to claim money from a professional fighter.
In.
You're going to have to beat him.
No. In a place like Port Nanzaru, the fighters usually get away with this kind of thing because, well, they're professional fighters in Port Nanzaru. They're fucking good.
Yes, but he made a bet with me, and he lost. So get my money, Scratch.
I will.
Where are you taking these? And she uses a word that you're not familiar with to describe you. Scratch, you know it.
Yeah. I'm currently taking them to the souk because the good doctor needs knives.
Immediately.
Scalpels.
Kalahu is holding like 3 throwing knives between her fingers, and she just like offers them out to the doctor.
Sorry, not that. I'm thinking more scalpels.
What is a scallop?
Something,
A scalpel.
doctor?
Hmm.
Something tells me before you take anything is you should be asking how much.
I'm not taking throwing knives as scalpels. I appreciate the offer greatly, mind you, but throwing knives and scalpels are not exactly interchangeable.
Scotch, what is she talking about? What is a scallop?
Scalpel.
As far as I can tell, it's a medical tool. I don't know. I don't see why you can't use a throwing knife as one. Just a scalpel from long range. There you go.
Deep sigh.
She like holds out the utility knife in her other hand, like, you want this?
How much would it be for the item?
She looks at it, kind of turns it over in her hands. My last one? 40 gold. That's bullshit, Scratch, and you know it.
Hold on. I'm all for getting money, gouging money from the Outlanders, but that's too much. Come on.
Okay, 35.
Come on.
Sue looks at her and goes, what utilities are on it? She puts her hips to her hands on her hips.
It's not like that. It's a utility knife in the sense that it's used for a lot of things.
Yeah, no, like, she's trying to figure out, like, what's in it. Like, are there scissors? Are there knives?
It's not like that. That's a modern invention.
All right,
Like a box cutter?
Yeah, it's a utility knife in the sense that it's a short blade used to be, like, done for a lot of things. It's a workhorse knife. I apologize for the misunderstanding.
Yeah, that's on me. She kind of gives it a questioning look.
In no way is it worth 35 gold. It's worth, like, 5.
No.
She'd get a better deal requisitioning Azure Edge from the souk.
If she needs Azure Edge, I know someone.
I do not need Azure Edge. I don't fight.
Wait, what?
You don't fight?
You don't fight?
I'm a medic. I'm under oath to not do harm.
Like a paladin oath? Like
Kalahu starts laughing again.
Oh, shut up.
Like Wahoo, magic, if I break my oath, I lose my power kind of oath?
No, as in, if I break this oath, I go to jail.
Oh, that's a bad oath. I keep
My
losing the accent. Fuck.
My oath is, I help people, I don't hurt them, or else I go to prison and lose my license.
Well, Doctor, I would argue that curing someone of undeath is technically helping them, so...
This is helping, I'm aware. Just don't expect me to pull out my nightstick and start beating someone because they looked at me wrong.
Curing undeath? What are they talking about, Scratch?
I'll enter if you pay me.
She pulls out 5 gold pieces, holds it. She stops! I'll take 5 gold off your debt.
Deal.
Puts the coin back in her packet.
In the Chilton language, she says,
It's more of a dialect than a language. You guys can make out some words, but
Put simply,
It's heavy accent.
very.
Put simply, the plague is affecting the more sentient undead as well.
You see her look toward the prince's villa, like she turns and looks up.
Now that I don't know about. I don't know about that much. I know that Prince Wakango Otamu has interest because a friend has asked for his assistance, and he like gestures at the group.
In the Chilton dialect, she says the equivalent of the white-haired granny he's fucking.
Pretty much.
She shakes her head. I don't care about that. You're going to die in the jungle, she's going to die in the jungle, and I'm not going to get my money.
We'll do Taban before we enter the jungle.
You're still going to die, and she's going to die. Does she know she's going to die? She says this in common.
I'll kick your ass right now, I swear. I won't.
I have accepted the risk of life and limb. It's unpleasant that I have to accept so, but I was sent here by my brotherhood because I'm assuming they must have known I was capable. And she's lying.
Yeah, right. I think Kalahu deadpans, and she goes, "They sent you here because you smell like fish."
Now listen, you know nothing of this group. Do you see that woman? Do you see the chicken she is holding? That's not a chicken.
You have a better nose than me, Scratch. She smells like fish.
Yes, I do, but that is no chicken. That is how she does battle. That is a phoenix.
Make a deception check.
She's giving Scratch this look of, what the fuck are you going on about?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hang on. She might roll worse than you. She's got terrible charisma. No, okay. Okay, she did not roll worse than you. So, completely deadpan, she looks at Dr. Lorelei and she goes, I will get rid of his debt. Completely. If you beat him to death with a chicken.
No. If Henrietta attacks him, that's one thing. Henrietta is not a fan of strangers, but if I'm not going to assault him, I'm not.
I'll pay you 100 gold coins.
I'll assault him.
Good.
If you assault him, I don't get my money. If she assaults him, at least it's funny.
I will abandon you in the fucking jungle. I swear to God. I've done it before.
He really has. He's terrible. He's a terrible guide.
You fucking what?
I have abandoned 2 people in the jungle in my time, and one of them was a murderer.
Says you.
And what was the other one?
The other one wasn't important. Anyway.
Ren just turns to break at this point, and in the dwarven language just asks him, like, really, what the did we get ourselves into this time?
I think Scratch, like, scowls briefly and goes, okay. Truth be told, I didn't abandon him. Another guy showed up and stole the money out from under me.
So I think Kalahu says, hang on, let me get it so I get the name right. She's like chuckling, and she says, here we go. Lose another one to Azaka, did you?
Unfortunately. I don't understand why she hates me so.
Probably because you smell like fish.
Probably because she wants me.
Scratch, I assure you, no one wants you except for your pelt.
What's your obsession with fish?
Have you not had
She just gestures at the port off to your left.
Port Nanzaru has the greatest fish, the greatest liquor, the greatest people. He turns to her and goes,
And
I
then
fucking
there's
hate
you.
I fucking hate you, but you're wonderful in some regards.
Right. Outlanders. Free advice, you won't get a lot of this in Chult. Get a better guide. Go find Azaka.
Don't find Azaka. She's a bitch.
She is better than you.
In the jungle.
Where are they going, Scratch?
For now, they're staying here. We don't have time for this. We have a dinner date with Prince Wakanga, and they need supplies.
Is that what you call it?
That he literally called us for a dinner. Wait, you're doing the thing again. Stop it.
So she raises an eyebrow. The magic prince, the actual trade prince Wakanga Otamu called you.
Like I said, I made a bad bet when I was drunk a while back, and he's calling in this as a favor.
Less called him or dragged him to his estate.
Yes, and I'm dragging you to collect on my debt as well. You can do that before you go die in the jungle. You, Outlanders, find a better guide. Go find Azaka.
Do you spell that?
I can, yes, she will not. Azaka, Azaka.
All right.
I don't know how we got roped into this, but if it's a fight, I might be willing.
If you want to fight in the fight pit, that is your business. Taban owes me money, and I need the cat to collect on it. Though if you want to fight in the pit, I can give you very good odds.
She can. She knows her stuff.
At this point, Ren turns towards Scratch. So clearly the city is give and take. So if we end up helping you out, what do we get in return?
In the Cholton dialect, between soft chuckles, Kalahu says, I like that one.
The Scratch, like, he switches to the Cholton dialect and just goes, I don't. And looks at him and says, speaking frankly, I'm going to be giving you a free tour of the city, helping you find supplies, and then leading you to probably our death, our collective death.
Find Azaka, you won't die.
Find Azaka, you will die.
I'm going to tell her you said that.
Do.
Fucking hell. Are we gonna get dragged into a gang war at this rate?
Yes!
God damn it.
Please do. Either way, they're marching into death. At least I'll fight by their side. Usually.
You fight?
So what it sounds like to me is basically either you die in the jungle or you die here.
He
Either
dies
I
here.
die-
You walk around as long as you have money and don't get into debt. He dies here. I want his pelt.
Most people do. It looks like money.
I think Zuli kind of rolls her eyes a bit and goes, where is the place you were going to take us again?
Ah, yes, the Grand Souk. Follow.
They couldn't let you in the Grand Souk. You.
Shut. Just not even shut up, just shut.
Yeah, shut. Yeah, you walk away, and Kalahu is just like shaking her head, and she like turns and goes the other direction.
Ugh. And she like kind of hangs back for once away from Scratch and looks to the other, like the one who was discussing fighting in it. And it's like, you are aware that while yes, I am a medic and it is my requirement to heal, I don't think we should be wasting my supplies on day one.
Your mic is exploding.
Son of a bitch.
I heard you, but your mic is exploding.
So did she actually already walk off, or is she in the process of walking off?
You guys walk, or at least Scratch did.
Oh.
I followed Scratch.
I assumed you were all following Scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this any better?
No.
Damn it. How about this?
Much better.
Fantastico.
Yeah,
So-
no, she kind of like stops behind and like kind of goes on that little tangent like, we are not wasting my fucking supplies day one.
Well, would you call it a waste if we found someone with their leg broken in the middle of the street?
Oh, absolutely not.
Then how is this a waste?
Because you are actively going to get into a fight.
Technically, we're going to be actively getting into fights out in the jungle as well.
And I will be helping heal. And that will not be a waste. That will be part of the mission.
Yeah, but unless we find this other guy, it sounds like this guide is not going to exactly last the day. So either we go in without a guide, we try to find this other guy, or we help this guide not die.
Surely it has to be an over-exaggeration. Hopefully we could possibly talk to this individual and try to get the money.
So
At this, Ren just continues walking on, following Scratch, not even bothering to respond.
So, Dr. Lorelei,
Mm-hmm.
as the group of you are approaching the Grand Souk, this big, like, tented off market area, it's substantially louder here. Outside the Grand Souk, there's like entrances, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outside the entrance that you're walking towards, you see, like, beggars, obviously, but you see a rather well-dressed dude kneeling in the road and just like grabbing at people and like openly weeping as they like shove him off and like go into the thing. He's out of like he's in a position where the guards are not going to leave their post to come and throw him out, but he's making a scene.
Yeah, I think Sue kind of like pauses and like grabs Scratch's shawl and is like, Do you know what's going on over there?
That's not a beggar, Scratch.
Do I recognize who it is?
Make a history check. It's an easy history check.
Come on, Scratch. Open up. There we go.
Yes, even with that roll, you know who this is.
Oh, wow.
Even with that roll, you know who this is. That's not a beggar, or if it is, he's fallen on real hard times. That's Omala, the master colorist from the dye work, like the boss.
Oh. Ha. I wonder. That is, Odala. He's a...
Omala.
Omala. That is Omala. He's what is a way to put it? Dive master.
He seems distressed.
Yeah. Unless he's fallen on hard times, he's running something here.
I think, against the probably most people's better judgment, I think Sue is going to start carefully walking over.
Okay. You have to walk through a bunch of beggars to get to him, and they're like holding out their hands and like grabbing at you.
I think she sadly kind of just keeps her hands in her pocket, putting like Henrietta on her head.
Okay.
Because like I don't have a lot of stuff. I do not have a lot of cash on me at all.
Right.
Can you give me like a ballpark number of how many we're walking past?
Well, probably only like 4 or so, but they're like clustered tightly together, and just Dr. Lorelei has to go.
No.
Dr. Lorelei
Oh, wait,
looks
no.
like someone who would give to the poor, so they're like...
No, here's the thing. If it's only 4, then no. She's absolutely going to give.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, no, yeah, if she sees them, she kind of smiles sadly, and there are 4 of them, so she gives them each, like, 4 gold.
Oh, wow!
Wait, no, not 4 gold each. I meant she gives gold to each of them.
Okay, that's still like a week of food, so that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So they take it, and they're like, there's a... So here's the problem with you doing that, and Scratch, you know exactly what's gonna happen. As soon as she pulls out the first gold coin, everyone comes running over. There's immediately like 30 or 40 people all sort of like surrounding the good doctor and like reaching for her and like pulling at her clothes.
When this starts,
Rick
he's
is
gonna like
immediately fending them off.
Yeah, he's gonna rush in, sword out. Just
You're gonna
not
pull your
hitting them,
sword out. Okay.
just sword out, pushing them like.
Make an intimidation check. Both of you. Actually, Brick, whoever has higher, the other person can give them advantage since you're both doing it.
Whoa,
You're
what check am I making?
a paladin. You're a paladin, right?
No, he's a fighter.
I'm a fighter. What am I doing?
If you have a higher intimidation, you're rolling with advantage. If not, you're giving advantage to Scratch because you're both fending them off.
I've got a -1, so probably not.
Ugh. Yeah, that's gonna be me then.
All right, make an intimidation check with advantage.
Oh my god. You're fucking
That doesn't sound promising.
Good job, Scratch. You did it. So, unfortunately, you pull out your gun, you pull out your sword, and you both run in. And Scratch is like, "Hey, stop!" And literally, one of the like beggars just like turns and says something to the effect of like, "Fuck off, Scratch," and just slugs him in the face.
Yeah.
Take a point
Okay.
of damage.
All right.
Okay.
Are people like trampled? Honestly,
No, you're just you can't move. You're surrounded by people, and they're trying to like take things from you a little too forcefully.
All right. Brick's had enough of this. He fires his gun in the air.
Okay. God.
Oh no.
I need to. The good news is it's going to clear the street. What I'm stuck on is, does somebody grab the doctor in the chaos? I think they're gonna try. Dr. Lorelei, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, so you fire a gun in the air, big noise. Everybody screams. There's like the startled roar of a dino a street over. The guards immediately start running over with their hands on their falchions. The street clears, and you guys have just a second to react as Lorelei is also cleared off the street and is being pulled into an alley.
Can I reasonably call this?
All three of you can act before she's gone.
Can I reasonably call this a situation where I can use feline agility?
What does feline agility allow you to do?
It's an in-combat ability, but really sucks.
What does it do?
When I move on my turn in combat, you can double your speed until the end of your turn.
So tell me how you want to apply it.
Just full mad dash over there, no.
Okay, so you rush over. So while the two of you reacted, Rin and Brecky, you can still react. That hasn't changed. But yeah, Dr. Lorelei, you're pulled when the crowd disperses, and then Scratch is right on your heels, trying to push the guy off you. People disappear on the streets of Port Nyanzaru. Scratch, you know that. So Brick and Rin, what do you want to do?
Brick's going after the doctor as well, just not quite as fast.
Okay. And Ren, what are you doing?
Ren is doing the same while... can I ready a weapon while pursuing, or do I have to stop?
You can. You can ready a weapon as part of your movement. Understand, though, you are substantially slower than everyone else in the party. Because you're a small creature, your movement speed is either 20 or 25, I forget which. So you will be stripped away very quickly. And then you run into the potential of you being the one alone on the street of Port Nyanzaru, which might lead to a whole other manner of things. Just letting you know.
So it'll probably be better for... Alright, in that case, I'll just try to keep up as much as possible anyway.
Yeah, no, but the doctor is pulled away first. The Tabaxi is off like a shot. Brick is like, oh, fuck this. He's in soldier marching. And the next thing you know, you're, running to keep up with them. So, Scratch, you can act first because you're the furthest ahead. You see just some random-ass dude trying to pull Dr. Lorelei into an alleyway.
I know there's a lot of people in Port Nyanzaru, but do I know this particular guy?
He's cloaked.
Cloaked. Probably just gonna claw at him. Just fuck off.
So you are going to attack him, is what I'm hearing.
I mean, the doctor's being kidnapped. And
this is
you're not wrong. I'm just making sure we're on the same page.
Yeah. Ew.
So you guys were the souk is the Grand Souk is back here. Oh fuck, hang on. The Grand Souk is back here. There's big open area. Actually, it would be south. Never mind. Ignore that. It would be down here. The map is inverted. Bear with me.
I'm not seeing anything.
You're not seeing anything? What do you mean?
Nothing. You put the weird robot face on the screen, and now nothing's changing.
Robot face? I didn't put a robot face on the screen.
It's a blank battle map.
The 3 squares. It looks like a robot face to me.
Oh yeah, no, it is a blank battle map. That's by design.
All right.
I mean, besides that, I'm not seeing anything.
I know. I'm drawing it in. You should be able to see Scratch face of a gold coin. Dr. Lorelei.
I cannot.
Ren. And Brick. You cannot see over here?
No.
Is it just a black screen for you?
Oh, there it is. Everything just popped in.
Yeah, Roll20's been laggy all day. So the Grand Souk is like down here, and it extends in every direction. North on this map would be towards the harbor, right? And for the sake of it, there's just a street off this way. Dr. Lorelei is being pulled into this alleyway here. Scratch, you're right on her heels. Brick, you're like about here. Sparky's about here. And then, do I have like a thug token or like a mook token? Something like that? Hang on.
A bandito?
A bandit, yeah, a bandit would work. I would rather use thug if I have it, but I might not. They're all different stat blocks for one reason or another.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do not have thug. I should have bandit though.
Do we? Does it count as me already having a long rest at the start of the game or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do have all my spells.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here we go. Thug. I do have thug. Great. Boop. So, yeah, so if you're gonna scratch at him, then we're gonna need to roll some initiative.
Oh, God.
Click on your token, click on initiative on your character sheet, roll it up.
Should I, since technically I don't fight, but I have to do that to, like, try and roll my getaways, though?
Yes.
Alright, just thought I'd check.
Nope,
Where's initiative on the character sheet?
It's a little tiny dice thing. No, it's not. I'm sorry, I'm a dingus. It's one of the 3 boxes at the more or less top. There you go. Okay.
Oh, jeez.
So very notably, Scratch, you're going first. The guards are going to be 2 initiative turns from getting to you guys because it's a crowded street. So you're going to have 2 turns. Scratch, you're up first.
Yeah.
All right. That does not hit. So you want to try to like hit this guy. Nothing happens. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right.
I gotta figure out how sneak attack works.
Dr. Lorelei. Sneak attack works when you have advantage or the target is surprised.
Aha.
You have advantage if you have an ally within 5 feet. You basically have pack tactics.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Or sorry, you get sneak attack within 5 feet, you don't necessarily have advantage. You have advantage for flanking. Anyway, Dr. Lorelei, you're up.
I'm guessing Henrietta is, like, probably clutched under my arm.
No, you dropped Henrietta.
Damn it!
You said, and I quote, I put Henrietta on my head.
Yeah, and then I got yeeted.
Yep.
Yeah, I think she's going to start, like, trying to struggle to get out of this person's grip. Like, let go of me!
Make a strength saving throw.
Oh, God. Nope.
Nope, unfortunately.
I have a minus.
Yep. Brick, you see around the chaos around you, there's like a myriad like NPCs around here still scattering your gun. By the way, your gun is unloaded because you fired it. You can see just like a hooded individual just like trying to pull Dr. Lorelei into this alleyway.
My gun has 4 shots before
Oh.
needing to load it.
Well, there you go.
But I'm not going to fire with the doctor in the way.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to pry the doctor away from this dude.
You want to like run up and then try to just like pull her back?
And just try to get her out of his grip.
Okay, if you can make a strength saving throw, but if you fail, Dr. Lorelei is going to take damage as she's being pulled in 2 directions. It won't be a lot of damage, but it will be damage. If that's what you want to do.
It.
Alright, roll a strength save. Ah, that's a fail.
Yeah.
Dr.
Damn.
Lorelei, you are going to take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you're caught between the muscly Brick and this dude, and they're both just like yanking on your arm. The thug's turn. He sees you guys. He's still got the advantage because like Dr. Lorelei is between him and all of you. It just like growls, and he like reaches in his belt, pulls out a scimitar, and he's gonna try to I think he's gonna try to hit Scratch, honestly, because of the two of you, Scratch, you're more valuable dead. Dr. Lorelei is more valuable alive. So he's gonna attack. He's gonna attack Scratch. Oh, he's got a mace, not a scimitar. That's fine. 18 to hit.
Yikes! Yeah.
Okay, you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, good. Oh.
I rolled very well.
I'm dropped.
Okay, so he cracks Scratch in the head, and Scratch just drops like a sack of papers. Hits the ground. Scratch, you are down. At the top of the initiative, you're gonna have to make a death save. Ren, you're up. Hawk?
Doc. Push to Hawk.
Alright. Human characters don't count as large, right?
Human is medium.
Okay, do I have enough to, because I do have the ability, small stuff, which lets me move through friendlies of any size. Can I move through Scratch to try and get a better angle at the thug?
You would, yes. Well, hang on, let's see. How much movement do you have?
My speed is 25.
Okay. You could get here. You could not. Oh no, you could. That's 25. You would have to go like duck under Dr. Lorelei, but you could get like to the side of the thug if that's what you wanted to do.
Okay, and then I can still take my attack my attack, right?
Yep.
All right. I am going to move up to the right there, and then I am going to attack with my dagger.
All right.
I'm so sad.
Sorry, which roll do I do again?
You just click your dagger and your attacks, and it'll do it.
I thought oh, there
There
it
you go.
goes.
That hits. Now click in the chat log. Click the word dagger, and it'll roll damage. Nice.
Oh God.
Okay. You hit him. You like stab him in the leg, and he like growls and he shouts something in the Cholton dialect. That's your turn. Scratch, I need a death save, please.
My defense, good doctor. He did just being our guide.
Fucking bonk.
Okay, noted, Scratch. You can hear the guards coming, trying to like fight through the crowd. They will be here in one turn. Dr. Lorelei.
I literally can't grab my weapon because my arm is between two different people, so I'm gonna try and get away again. Strength save, I guess.
Uh-huh. You have advantage because Brick is helping you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Would I?
Yep, absolutely. Okay, noted. I'll roll against that. Oof. Unfortunately, he outrolls you. It's like pulling on you, you're trying to get away. I'm assuming you're like screaming.
Yeah, no. And somewhere along in that screaming of like, get off my guards!
Yeah.
And she kind of throws out there, this is no way to treat a medic!
Okay. Brick, it is your turn.
I think that bonk was more effective than you thought, because I have a headache.
Oof, careful.
Like,
Brick
She's
does
also
not
trying-
want to hurt Dr. Moore, but, like, he's got to get her away.
Yeah,
He can't fire his gun, especially at this range.
you can actually. If you go here, you can like aim down the alleyway. You'll let go of Dr. Lorelei, but she's still struggling against him. So it's not like she's gonna get vacuumed down the alleyway. So you can actually get a beat on him from right there if you want to do that.
Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm gonna try to shoot this guy.
Do it. Shoot him. Shoot this man.
Shoot him!
That hits. Roll damage.
Really? Okay.
Okay. There's a massive, massive clap of thunder as you fire the gun down the alleyway. It like hits the guy in the arm. He like swears. You see him like glare at you under his like cowl that he's wearing. It's his turn, and I think he's gonna just like he lets go of the good doctor. You stumble back, Dr. Lorelei, and it looks like he's gonna make a break for it. But before he does, he just like turns and he's gonna try to cold cock Ren across the head.
That's rude. I only stabbed him in the leg.
Yeah, right. 14 to hit you, Ren. Is 14 equal to or higher than your armor class?
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay. You take 7 points of damage. Poof! As he beans you in the head, and then he's just gonna bolt. He's gonna run for it, which means technically you get an attack of opportunity, Dr. Lorelei and Ren, if you want to take it.
I think getting bashed on the head would throw me off enough
Okay.
that I wouldn't.
Dr.
be able
Lorelei, you want to take it?
Get me in trouble considering I was attacked first?
No.
Then yeah, no, I think
you're allowed to defend yourself.
she takes her nightstick off her belt and... Oh,
Wow! You take your nightstick off your belt. Now, normally, that's just extra damage. But because you're you, and because of what you rolled, if you want to hook it under his feet and knock him on his face instead, I'll let you.
she's going to like go, oh no you don't, and swing at him and try to knock him off balance.
Okay, roll damage, but only take the first number. Okay,
5.
so he is prone about here. It just hit the ground, and he's trying to scrabble to his feet, but he can't. Sparky, it's your turn.
Okay, at this point, Sparky would see if there was a way to try and subdue him, at the very least. So, in combat, can you try to either, like, go for the leg to purposely make it harder for them to get away, or...
He's already on the ground.
Okay. I do have rope on me. Can I use that to tie him up?
He's not helpless. He's just prone.
Okay.
You would have to outroll him in strength to tie him
that's,
up.
that's not happening.
I didn't think so.
What's his current health at?
I'm not telling you that.
Oh, sorry. At this point, I think Sparky would use Cure Wounds on myself. Because
You're still alive. Scratch is
Oh.
actively bleeding out.
Oh, well, actually, then in that case,
Just say,
I'd
I mean,
probably
hey,
use
if you want to cure wounds yourself, feel free. I'm just letting you know.
Well, I didn't realize Scratch was actually that bad.
Yeah, Scratch
bad,
is
so
dying.
in that case, I'll probably try to use. I'll use Cure Wounds on Scratch.
Okay, go ahead and roll your healing. It should
Thank
be
you.
an attack called Cure Wounds. You can just click. There you go. Scratch, you're awake, prone with 6 HP. What is your healing, your Cure Wounds look like, Sparky?
Plus 1d8.
No. What does it look like, fictionally?
Oh. He would pull out a little device, metallic in nature, and he would immediately slap it on the wound that Scratch has. it would start to glow, and then the wound would start to shrink, for lack of a better term.
Okay. So like an auto dock stitching machine, basically?
Kind of, yeah.
Cool. All right. Top of the round. Brick, you can see behind you that the guards have pushed into the alleyway and are making their way towards you. Scratch, you are awake, on the ground, 6 HP. The dude is trying to pick himself up.
Scratch's gonna get up first.
Yeah, you are.
You can try and knock the guy back down.
You want to just jump on his back and start punching him?
Well, not punching him, just... Yeah!
Just throw yourself at him. Make an athletics check. Okay, yeah, you outrolled him. So you just jump on him and just hold him down, basically. Cool. Dr. Lorelei.
Sue's gonna kind of walk back over to Sparky and go, well, that was quite the trick you pulled there. Here, let me help you. And she's going to cure wounds Ren as well.
Okay. What does your cure wounds look like as you're rolling it?
It looks like I forgot to add in cure wounds as an attack, and I'm a dink. What is it again?
What's your spellcasting modifier?
My spellcasting modifier is I'm going
2?
nuts here. It's my 3. It's
3.
my charisma.
Okay. Sparky, what is your intelligence modifier?
My intelligence modifier is a 4.
Okay. Would you mind to roll your cure wounds again, please? Whatever this is, -1. So-
It is.
I see it.
Okay.
So you get 6 healing. Mark off your spell slot, Dr. Lorelei.
Well,
But what does your cure wounds look like?
her cure wound looks more like blue light, like flowing, ebbing blue light, almost as if just she touches whatever's injured, and it's just like water went over his head, but it doesn't actually go over his head. Like it's not actual water.
Oh, like an ethereal background faded wave pattern.
Yeah.
Like when you're looking for Ati and Control. I'm into it.
Yeah, like that.
Like the waterfall movement, Pokemon.
Nice. Okay. Brick, what would you like to do? Push to talk better.
Right. It's an action to reload my weapon, isn't it?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Brick's just gonna head into the alley and help Scratch pin a guy down.
He's gonna run in and tackle him as well. Make an athletic check with advantage since you're helping.
Alright.
This guy now has disadvantage on this check. Oof. Oh my god! Okay, so you guys are holding him down. He's struggling and swearing. And I think this is pretty safely combat is over. The guards rush in. One of them pulls Dr. Lorelei aside, and then the other two run in. And Brick, I mean you're military. You jump out of the way. They haul Scratch off of his back and just clap him in irons and drag the guy away. Nicely done.
Hey! Hold on there!
There's still one gladiator sticking around. Hang on.
Can y'all hear that?
I did, yes.
Is it persistent?
No.
Hear what? A click?
I'm just asking because that's my air conditioning coming on. And I've always thought it was loud.
I have a freaking thing for this. Where is it? I guess this will do. Oh no, here it is. Here it is. Wonder where that was. Okay. So they lead him away. Do you want the dude or do you want the guard? Because there's a guard staying with Dr. Lorelei.
I was gonna go after them trying to take Scratch away, but
No, they're not taking Scratch away. They're taking the dude away. They just threw Scratch aside.
Oh, all right.
Scratch
Yeah.
got yeeted into the building.
Yeah, basically,
Bricks
because
just-
Scratch was on top of him, and they just like grabbed him, like get off him, and then they hauled the guy up and led him away.
Brick's just gonna go up to the guard and talk to him, explain the situation.
Yep.
Tell him that they're
Did he have specific to say to Miss Lorelai, or not particularly? Just like
No, just like, are you okay? Like, are you hurt? Do you need attention in any way? Like, basically, just treating you like a hysterical woman, basically.
I'm moderately okay. The treatment would be nice. She looks around. Oh no, where's Henrietta?
The chicken is just like standing in the middle of the street, walking back and forth, pecking at bugs.
Henrietta?
Chicken runs over.
You just got nearly kidnapped by a madman with a flippin' iron mace, and you're worried about a chicken.
I didn't die. None of you are dead. I will be helping out though. Dear God, Scratch, are you all right?
I'd like to point out he would be dead if not for my invention.
Which I want to talk about later.
Yes, thank you for that. And as for your question, good doctor, nothing a good bit of Tej won't fix.
The guard passes you a healing potion.
Oh, fucking
What?
Liddy.
Dr. Lorelei passes you a healing potion.
Yeah. I'm trying to find my potions because I know I have a couple.
Sorry?
All right.
also Brick's gonna take the time to reload his gun at this point.
That's fine.
You said that the doctor probably hands him a potion. She probably does.
The guard
Oh.
No, the guard handed the doctor a potion.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, because you said you needed help.
Yeah, no. What kind of potion is it?
It's a healing potion.
Like, what size?
2d4
Roll.
plus 2. Lesser.
All right, that's what I was asking.
Yep. There you go. 8 healing.
All
So the guard
Thank you so much.
like, nods, takes your statements, and then departs, leaving you guys a minute to talk amongst yourselves.
It's terrible, but that's fortunately kind of common. That's why things shouldn't fucking explode in the streets.
If I hadn't done that, the doctor would have been torn apart by that mob.
Or we could have just thrown some money elsewhere and beat the ones that didn't go away.
Look, at this point, what done is done. Can we please just move on with our flippin' day at this point?
Yes. Future reference though, please not make the street explode. It would be nice.
And let's be a little more careful about to whom and where we give out money.
Right.
going to say. Sue Lorelai's gonna take a look around again for the die maker.
Yeah, he's like cowering next to a stall with some other people. They're terrified of Brick.
He's going
And
to
just
give
looks
Brick a-
over and laughs a bit.
She's
Reminds
going
me
to-
of that one time you brought it out at that bar fight, you remember?
She's going to give them both a stern look and start walking over.
You start.
Hey, I didn't cause any problems here. Is what he shouted.
I love the idea that Rin and Brick are like half glowering at each other, and then the doctor just walks away, and all three of the boys are like, "Hey, wait a minute! We just," and just like scramble after her.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think like the merchant at the stall that everybody is like, not everybody, but like the people that you care about are hiding near, like comes over, and it like tries to show you what he's selling, Dr. Lorelei. But you're not looking at him; you're looking at Omala.
Yeah, she puts her hand up to the merchant, like, no thank you, and she like looks around to the group. Is everyone okay? That was a lot of people. Did anyone get hurt?
You get a lot of questioning murmurs, and everybody is looking at Brick and Scratch.
She's a doctor.
I'm a medic, trained professional.
Hey, Scratch, like, cool that you overheard her say she was a doctor. You have no idea what a doctor is.
Yeah, no, he has no clue, but he thinks it'll help.
Okay, make a persuasion check with disadvantage. Let's see if it helps.
Do you curse to Sue that they might not know what a doctor is?
You can make an insight check. That's a decent roll with disadvantage, Scratch.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Nope.
it does not occur to the doctor. So he's like, she's a doctor, and they relax a little bit, and then some random voice in the mind you, the crowd is like 5 people, right? But some random voice says like, "What is a doctor?"
Good question. What's a doctor?
Sue drops, just straight up drops. She drops her arms and looks to Scratch and goes, and then she looks back to the crowd and goes, "How do you not know what a doctor is?" Okay, how do I explain this? She's kind of flabbergasted, like, what the fuck?
Brick
She stitches
just,
you back up if you get cut.
Brick interjects. She heals without magic.
Oh, I can do with magic if I have to.
Oh, or with magic. Okay.
Ren would just tell the crowd she stitches people up when they get cut.
That sounds like a novelty of something you'd have left over from the spell play.
How loudly do you say this, party?
What is that?
Yeah, what is
What?
that? Clicking sound.
That was probably me tossing and catching a bottle. Apologies.
Thank you. How loudly do you guys say this description of a doctor?
I say it loud enough for the crowd to hear.
Okay. Brick?
Scratch is kind of mumbling.
Yeah, but Brick and Dr. Lorelei.
Brick's just addressing like the 5 people. He's not like raising his voice.
Sue is
But-
like a little louder than she'd probably like to be, but she's like flabbergasted. How do these people not get
Okay.
How do people get help?
So, Scratch, you see people starting to walk over again. Like a lot of people.
This might not be good.
And, somebody not from these 5 people, Dr. Lorelei, you don't realize that you're getting surrounded yet. But Dr. Lorelei, from off to the side, you hear someone say, "My mother is ill." And then, from a different direction, someone says, "My son, he got out of executioner's run, but he's bleeding." And then more and more people chime in, and now you realize you're surrounded again.
It's
Doctor-
time to leave.
Sue
For the
gives a
love
deep
of God. For the
Sue
love
gives,
of the gods.
Sue gives a deep fucking sigh and goes, "Definitely going to have to talk to the Brotherhood about setting up something here."
With all due respect, Doctor, as much as some of these people may be legitimate in their claims, it is best to ignore them for now.
But if they need help, I can't do that.
I understand your oath or whatever, but you must understand you are an outlander. You have knowledge, you can do things for. You are a commodity. You can be, and if you are not careful, will be bought and sold like a bottle of Tej.
Scratch, you hear someone in the crowd say, "Wait, Scratch?"
No.
Is that all you say?
He just like he's like leaned in. He's like leaned in serious, talking to the doctor, and then he just darts up like a meerkat. No.
Make a persuasion check. Okay. Why is it that you roll well there? But okay. So is it fair that the crowd has advantage? Do you think, Gamzee?
I think so.
Okay. I am going to roll. No, wait. No, insight is wisdom, not charisma. Ignore that. Okay.
Fine, we can't see it anyway.
Yeah. So, with that roll, you say no, and, like, many people just walk away.
Oh. Can I try and, like, figure who said, is that Scratch?
Yeah, it was Omala, who's standing, like, 4 feet from you.
Ooh.
He's still there.
I think upon registering this herself, Sue is going to look back to Amala and go, I saw you were, like, really distressed earlier. What's wrong?
Red would just be staring at the crowd dispersing after that with just a what look on his face the entire time.
Welcome to Port Nyanzaru, Hockey.
Yeah, this is Ren's first time there, so
yeah,
he would
exactly.
just be staring there with a what.
So Amala just, like... It's so hard to describe this behavior objectively, but it's a very, like... How do I put this? How do I put this carefully, more accurately? Omala does a thing that isn't as common in places like the United States, where, by virtue of the fact that you are an outsider, he clams up. But he does it politely. So you're like, what were you distracted about? And he just, like, with both hands, just, like, very gently, like, makes a shooing motion and, like, shakes his head and looks down.
Amala, it is me, Scratch.
He stops. And then he throws himself at your feet and, like, grabs your ankles. And he just shouts, you have to help me.
What do you want? I can help you, you just have to be sure you want my help.
He picks himself up, he's like stays on his knees, he picks himself up, and he's speaking very softly, and he's basically talking into your knees. And he says there's no one else.
Fun fact, Scratch has a soft spot for people in need when they feel the need to grovel, especially people who are objectively above him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to crouch and...
So to the rest of you, let me describe Omala. Omala is... He's wealthy, and he shows his wealth in a way atypical of, like, medieval England fantasy. He's covered head to toe in robes, despite the heat. They're brightly colored robes with, like, silver inlay. And then he's got one of those very North African, like, sashes across his chest as well. That's a different color than the rest of his robe. He's got, like, silver chains around his neck. He's got a sapphire in the middle of his headscarf, like, against his forehead. He's not wearing any rings, and he's, like, the robes are brightly colored and well tailored. The problem is they are filthy. He is rolling in the dirt in front of Scratch, who, by all accounts, is dressed like a commoner.
Yeah.
So Scratch, you said you knelt down.
Mm-hmm. He says, he kneels and says, yes, what is it? And I'm here. I'm listening.
He presses something into your hand.
Looks at it.
He presses an iron token between your hands. And then just like covers his face with both hands.
Does he do it in a way the rest of us can tell what happened, or...
You saw him give Scratch something. You can't see what it was.
Okay.
Sue like looks over him, trying to see if he's injured in any way or if something
Doesn't
happened.
seem to be injured. No. He's
Then
dirty.
she's going to look.
He's been
Then
crying.
she's going. I think she's
Scratch.
going.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think she's going to kneel down as well and like start trying to comfort him. Like, I don't know what's going
If
on.
you touch him, he will back away completely. Just
She's
warning you
not
right
going
now.
to touch him. She's not going to touch him. She
Okay.
knows better.
Do you?
I mean, she's a trauma doctor. We decided
Do
that.
you know anything about Sheldon culture?
No, we don't. But she's just from what she
In
knows.
Waterdeep, yeah, you would like put your hand on their shoulder and be like, "Hey, buddy, are you okay?" But I'm saying,
Fair.
like, if you go to do that, he's gonna like
don't.
push you off and retreat.
No, she isn't going to try and touch him. She's just like trying to be like
Okay.
courteous.
So yeah, Scratch, he presses an iron token into your hand.
I'm gonna check if it's fake. Because I know what this is.
Yes, you do know what this is. I can just tell you, if you like.
Sure.
This is a token of the Yatepka Society, who's basically the secret police.
I want to check if this token is if I can even tell if it's fake or not. If it
You cannot tell if it's fake or not.
Is that?
it is a bad omen.
How bad are we talking about here?
I think Scratch is like looking between the coin and Amala.
He's like hiding his face with his hands in his robes, because he can't cry in public.
Right. Okay. This. He like closes his hand around it and like shakes his fist at Brick.
Mm-hmm.
Is possibly the worst omen anyone could get.
Do you stand up, or are you still kneeling in front of Omala?
He's still kneeling.
Okay. Omala says to you, again, very quietly, because again, he's hiding his face. He says,
Craothe, Scratch. Prince Craothe, you have to get me an audience.
I have a dinner with Prince Wakanga tonight. I can ask him and see if I can arrange anything.
I'll be dead by tonight. Please, help me get to Golden Throne.
I think like Scratch does that thing the cats they like brush their head.
mm-hmm.
He does that a couple times, shaking the fist with the coin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm terribly sorry, everyone, but we're going to have to back.
So you say that, and again, Omala like throws himself on the ground, and he's like, 1,000 thank yous, and he calls you like gold coin.
It's fine. Please. Of course, even in a dire situation, it is Portnantaru, and everyone has a price for everything. But
I have no
This is
money
it.
for you, but I will.
Scratch like holds up his hand. This is a dire situation, so you owe me half whenever you can.
He nods. He still hasn't so much as looked at the outsiders.
At this point, Ren walks up to Scratch. So, what are we getting into this time?
he's going to like stand up and stand close and whisper, "This man has been given a token from the secret police. If he has not given help, he will be dead by nightfall. I am going to take him back to Golden Throne. You may stay here, or you may follow me."
Well, I, for one, don't want to be left without our guide.
Dr. Lorelei nods in agreement.
He starts.
Brick's voice is starting to... It's very clear, like, he's showing through his voice that, like, he's giving a bit of respect to Scratch now.
Omala is speaking in the Cholton dialect, but Scratch, you hear he's now echoing the praises that he gave you onto the Doctor and to Brick. He refers to Brick as the Thundercaller, and he refers to the Doctor as the Tide Maiden.
I think Scratch chuckles a little and like, "I'm going to remember those." He looks to Brick and says, "Well, will you be joining the rest of us then?"
No, Brick said yes, Rin hasn't spoken.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Rin that said yeah.
No.
Yeah. So to Rin, it's, "Will you be joining us as well?"
Ren glances back and forth between you, Scratch, and the man in the robes before laying out a sigh. Something tells me it's probably going to end poorly if I don't, and poorly if I do, so I might as well.
He learns quickly. Good. Come, Omala. To Golden Throne we go.
Now, where is Golden Throne? Is it 4 or 7 on this map? I mean, either way, you have to go back up to the high road, but...
Isn't it this one?
That's what I thought, yeah. It's either that one or this one, and I'm not sure which one. Either way, you have to retrace your steps.
Yeah, if I think right, it's supposed to be a building with a golden roof.
Right. Which they both do. That's the thing.
Oh, do they?
Is there a legend that you guys can see anywhere? Hang on, maybe it's like... No, there's not a legend. Damn.
I just have a map.
Give me one quick second to see if I have a legend. I want to make sure you guys go to the right spot.
That red one has a significantly more gold.
Yeah, hang on.
It might be this one.
Yeah, 4. It's this one. It's this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had to check. That's all I had to do. It's here. Okay.
Well, we're somewhere around there, right?
You are currently here, actually.
Oh, okay.
We have to walk all the way back.
All of the route that you already marched, you have to go back.
I wonder if that would cause a problem with your bookie.
She's probably fucked off.
Yeah.
Fair enough then.
She was likely only there to catch me.
More accurately, it was probably serendipity.
Fair enough.
She had no way of knowing you were there.
That's valid. Although I was rather unceremoniously and rather vocally dragged through the streets.
Fair, but the vocal part was like down here.
That's fair.
So, no, I think she was just in the area and she happened to see you. More to the point, you were vocally walking down and talking about the city. She probably heard you and then set up a quick little ambush. Anyway, so you guys want to head back? You want to head back to Golden Throne?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
As we're walking, I think that...
Hang on. Do you want to make a show of force? Do you want to move quickly? Or do you want to move stealthily? Do you want to dare people to attack Omala? Do you want to stay out of sight? Or do you just want to go as fast as you can?
I think we should get him there as fast as we can.
Okay. What about the rest of you? This is a party decision.
Can.
Sorry?
Brick is following Scratch's lead.
At this point, I would at least hope Scratch seems to be at least someone who knows how to keep himself alive, so I'm going to follow his lead at the moment.
Okay. What did you say, Lorelei?
Fast as possible.
Okay. So speed. In that case, Scratch face of a gold coin, will you please roll me a flat d20? Call high or low.
Hi.
Okay. Roll it. Unfortunately, that counts as low. That's the top of low, but...
What? But that's the bottom of high.
No, it's not. Bottom of the high is 11.
That's the exact middle of a 20.
Exactly. 10 and below is low, 11 and above is high. That's how math works, mate.
Wait, it's the mid. Yeah, I know.
So unfortunately, what that means is you get about here in this little square with the fountain, and you hear just a random ass voice say, just like basically from an alleyway, you hear, "Leave the die man and the rest of you walk."
What has he done?
A bunch of just like toughs step out of the alleyway, and he says, "Does it matter?"
It does.
He carries a token.
He does.
Leave him.
Wait, I thought Scratch was carrying it at this point.
The dude
Like I
has no
say-
way of knowing that.
Oh, sorry.
Like, the dude has no way of knowing that Scratch is carrying it. And either way,
Yeah,
it was
that's
issued
my bad.
to him. Yeah. He carries a token. Doesn't matter why.
It does, because I have made him a promise I would take him to Golden.
Then we have a
I
problem, Scratch.
I need a very good reason to abandon him now.
Your life?
He gives Omala this look like, "Come on, man, you know that's my prize."
I'm curious what Brick is doing.
Zulia's looking around for guards like shit.
No guards in the immediate vicinity.
Brick is standing between them and Omala.
That's what I thought. Okay. So, Scratch, you look at Omala like, "That's my prize," and you see Brick standing in front of them, glaring down these toughs.
How many are there?
Like 4. They're like gang members. They've got like the equivalent of like pipes and chains. The Yakuza fight music starts playing.
Wait,
What?
they just have random... I say random shit, but you know what I mean. Like, street thug shit, not
Yeah, they have street thug shit.
proper weaponry.
And one of them has like a knife.
But they don't have like swords and such
No.
and everything.
They don't have like falchions, no.
Is there, like, a known... what's the word? Theme to the coin happenings?
Are you asking me, do these guys look like tunnel snakes?
Yeah. Do these guys look like they got their hands on a coin, whether it be fake or real, and they're just bullshitting Amala?
Oh, no way to tell. That is a thing, but no way to tell.
Do they look like tunnel snakes, pretty much?
Yeah, they look like just like street punks. So one of two things happened, and both are equally likely. They're fucking with Omala, and they just want to beat him up, or someone in the Yotepka Society was like, hey, this dude is marked, all you gangs go out and, you know, whoever brings me his head gets money. Both are equally likely.
He's going to, like, step over to Amala, facing him, step over to Amala, and very quietly say, the big one is with the flaming. He's...
Big one, my ass, he's a dwarf.
Oh, you know what I mean. Big arms.
Yeah.
They would think the big one was the doctor.
That one is a bit strong-headed. He doesn't understand the way of things here, so chances are he's going to start a fight. If that happens, I'm honor-bound, Prince Wakanga Otamu, to make sure that he can at least begin his journey, which means I'm forced to fight alongside him. During this time, I want you to run like a bat out of the 9 hells.
He nods.
And I'm afraid you might have just heard me say I want you to... I'm saying I want you to run like you have never run in your life before.
You see him, like, glance down, hitch up his robe slightly, and nod.
Good man.
So you turn back around, and, like, we see you like pull out your dagger as the camera like pans down. You get ready for a fight, and that's gonna be the last shot of the episode.
Oh shit, boys.
Whew.
So we're gonna break in on that fight first thing next week. The shout-out screen is not quite ready yet, but it will be ready for next week. In the meantime, we can still do some shout-outs, and let's start with Sibs.
My name is Sibs143. I'm a stagehand for Kit's Discord server. I'm also an artist both for Discord and for Twitch. You can find me here on Twitch on very rare occasions, just chilling in the stream when I'm able to, or you can find me on Discord. Feel free to shoot me a friend request and we can talk in private, or just at me in the middle of the shrine if you feel like it. I am also the host of the June and July Odeon, which ends this Saturday, hopefully without problem.
Vader, go ahead and give us a shout out, friendo.
I am the Journeyman Vader. I am a keeper here in the shrine. I also stream on Twitch occasionally on twitch.tv/journeymanvader. You can find me here on Discord or on Twitter at Vader_Sidious.
Hope you had fun.
I stream a variety of games. Hopefully you can catch me at my stream.
You definitely go give him a follow, give him some love, guys. Hope you had fun tonight, Vader.
Oh, absolutely.
Good. Hawky, give us a shout out.
Hello everyone, I'm Intangible Hawk. I am not a keeper, instead just one of the normal people in the shrine. I do some art and I do programming on the side. If you want to find me either here on Twitch at Intangible Hawk or in the shrine, same name.
Gamzee, finish us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm Guy Gamzee, the bot in training, gaining a little more experience with every show. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight, and if ever I'm needed, you can always find me in the shrine, or in DMs, or even on Twitter at the Homestuck Homie. Speaking of these places, if you are unaware, myself and the Fox have a show on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock called Hitting the Books. We do a Q&A section at the end of each showing where, as it entails, we answer questions that the audience may have. If you weren't able to get out your question at that time, or you came up with one in the intermedium between shows, please send them to me and they will be added to the next showing immediately.
Hope you had fun, Gamzee.
I did indeed.
Good. For my part, I am the Sharp-Eyed Kitsune, the teller of tales and the weaver of mysteries, the masked bard. This is a channel that is devoted to lore and storytelling, world building, role playing, and discussions of those things. So if that's to your fancy, you're in excellent company here, and I do hope that you enjoyed your time with us. I stream every single day that my health permits me to do so, and we're rolling with advantage in 2020, which is 2 chances to catch a given stream. Tomorrow, we've got Yakuza 0 in the afternoon for a few more streams as we finish things up there, and we'll be working on Grandmaster preparations in the evening, a prep show where I get my notes together for the various tabletop stories that I run and play on this channel, now including Crown of Fangs. Stop by if you want to help write some lore and don't mind spoilers. I can always use a hand. For now, I'm going to get out of here, but when I do, I'll be hosting someone. It's someone who I like, someone who I hope that you all will like, and can spread some of the love that was filtered today over in their channel. And check back here, because I'm always hosting someone, and you might find a new favorite streamer that way. For now, as ever, it's time to close the book one today, and leave you with these parting words. From myself, my keepers, and those joining me for this premiere, to all of you, the regulars, the followers, the newcomers, and the lurkers, whether you're just having a seat by the fire or you've got a running tab at the bar, remember, there's always more stories to tell. And hopefully, I'll see you all tomorrow as we venture back into whatever comes next with a new chapter. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by, and hope to see you again soon.